Why is it every time you finally get things calmed down and everything's going great, life decides to kick you in the butt?
But what?
What?
You said that life decides to kick you, but...
No, it's it's a part of the body. It's oh, you have the damnedest gaps in your vocabulary.
In preparing to come here, I was not taught the more colorful aspects of your language. It was considered inappropriate for one of the religious caste.
Yeah, well, we're missing out on a lot.
So I gather. But. I but, you but, he or she but.
No, it's
But.
You sound like a motorboat.
Motor but? I do not think I like the sound of that.
Well, I don't blame you. I'm against the whole idea.
Then we are in agreement.
Absolutely.
There you see.
What?
Something has gone your way today.
Yeah.
It's the way the universe works. Wait just a little while, and the wheel turns.
Last time we got so excited, we didn't even do an intro. Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
And this is
We are all Kosh.
a Babylon 5 podcast.
Did you cut in a We Are All Kosh?
No, I just put the theme song at the beginning. I was like, well, sorry, I don't know. You know why you're here.
We were out of practice.
You clicked on it. You know what happened. Yeah, Matthew. Okay, first of all, I want to say it is fucking cold. It's fucking cold here. And so it's really nice to sit in this tiny little room with you and turn a heater on.
With all the insulation on the walls to block sound.
Yeah.
That also blocks cold.
Cold, because it is fucking cold. Like there's cold, there's, oh, it's winter. And then there's, if I go outside uncovered for more than 15 minutes, I will suffer physical damage. And that's where we're at. When you go outside, a little -1 starts appearing over your head.
Ba-dink, ba-dink,
Oh,
ba-dink.
it's exactly like in Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom, when you go to the cold area
Oh, yeah.
and it starts blinking if you're not wearing the proper clothing. Like that. You will die if you go outside. So anyway, we're going to talk about Babylon 5, where you will also die if you go outside.
It's a lot faster, though.
Oh, and we got a new patron.
Patron.
Yes, on Patreon. So welcome.
Thank you, Cookie.
No, that wasn't even Cookie. He's over there eating a pen.
Oh.
It's just spontaneously unplugged. But you know what didn't unplug? The Roadcaster. So.
I unplugged it, but I hung it in there.
Oh.
So I guess it just slipped out.
Yeah, it's fine. We're going to talk about Babylon 5, Season 2, Episode 19.
AKA Episode 20.
Oh, God. Tubi also had this as 20, but nothing was like, oh, sometimes this is 19, sometimes this is 20. It was just...
You couldn't find any reference?
No, so I don't know why they're switched. Just another one that's switched. But we're going to cover it as Episode 19. Divided Loyalties. This originally aired the 11th of October, 1995. And since the previous episode was the 24th of May, 1995,
We're back from summer break.
Either we're back from summer break or for realsies, this was supposed to be episode 20. And episode 19 was like way back. We'll find out. I don't know. Probably in episode 20, the next one, episode 20, as we will cover it, there might be some reference to like, oh, well, we had to
this said
switch
it was aired July 25th, 95 in the UK.
In the UK. Yeah. Ow. Ow, Cookie. Sorry, I was wounded. Anyway, this had a P5 rating of 8.5. I did not tell the previous episode's P5 rating because we were coming back from break and I got excited, but it was 7.85. So the episode where an entire species dies of the plague was 7.85. But this one, which was the most, how to put this? Okay, so there must have been a lot of contemporary discussion about how heavy-handed this episode is. There is a traitor. But it is you.
Right.
There was a lot of discussion about that on the forum. Actually, the thing that got the most text time on the forum was, why did Garibaldi know to show up at the ship when they bring in the ship with carbon scoring? And he's just there. The doctor's there, and then Garibaldi shows up, and he's like, oh, hey, that's Lyta. And everyone was like, why would he be there? Why would he be there? And you could tell JMS was like, okay, because it's a weird ship that came out of hyperspace and had a bunch of damage, and the ID was mysterious. So he just showed up because he's the head of fucking security. I don't know. God damn it.
Right?
And then there's the part later where we just see the hand appear and shoot. And there was a lot of discussion about whether it was a right-handed or a left-handed gun.
What?
I don't know.
What?
And finally, JMS was like, honestly, y'all, it doesn't matter. Can we fucking drop it? Like, he said, I think it was left-handed, and then they swapped it to make it right-handed, or vice versa. But honestly, I don't remember because it doesn't actually fucking matter. Like, it's not a mystery. We know who it is by the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And he also shared an anecdote, which I thought was really interesting, because I guess he got a lot of criticism for how heavy-handed this is. This is not his usual amount of finesse that you would expect. I mean, every once in a while, he's got most of the time, he's got a lot of finesse. And then every once in a while, he's like, now Kith. Like, that's pretty much how it goes. So this is a now Kith episode. But he said that Harlan Ellison used to do a thing where he would go to a bookstore and he would sit down at a typewriter and he would write a short story or a novella. Just every time he finished with a page, he would take it and tack it to the wall.
Okay.
And he would keep going until he was finished with the story. And he couldn't go back and edit, and he couldn't change anything. He just had to sit down and start the story and go all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it's kind of like that, except I'm on page 2,400 and I can't fucking go back. I just have to keep moving forward. And sometimes that requires a heavy-handed pivot. And he was like, sorry if it felt heavy-handed.
Well, and it was kind of external circumstances.
Yes, yeah, which they
Andrea
didn't know at
Thompson.
the time. So contemporary fans didn't know
Right,
she
that
was
she
leaving.
opted to leave.
Yeah. So they're like, oh God, what? Seriously? You just did that to Talia like that? My God. All in one episode, we get like a huge emotional revelation for Talia and the death of Talia.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I did that. I don't know what to tell you. And he goes, I can't go back and change anything. I'm stuck in the course that I put myself in. And nobody has ever done this before, where you have one long series that is all connected. And I'm starting to realize why nobody has done this. And he said in a novel, which was kind of alluding to the fact that the actress who played Talia isn't coming back. He said, in a novel, you have a lot of control over your characters. You write them. They don't get to leave you.
Right.
But in a TV show, when you're dealing with a lot of moving parts and actors, you have to deal with every once in a while, they leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it maybe wasn't on the best terms. Apparently she had been giving interviews where she was saying that she was being like ignored or not given the screen time that she felt like her character deserved.
Mm.
And JMS somewhat tactfully was like, well, when she was hired, she knew she was hired for Babylon 5, not the Andrea Thompson show.
Mm-hmm.
And she's actually not in any more episodes than Londo and Jakar are. So her character is not getting any more short shrift than Londo and Jakar. And yet she's like...
the backbone of Babylon 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Two of the thank you, Cookie. Two of the biggest actors with the largest plot lines have more to do than she does, and they're not in any more episodes. And he said they tried to accommodate her and put her in more often, but there's literally only so much that they can do. And she got paid for episodes she was not even on, which apparently for the first 2 seasons was not the case for Lando and Jakar, for Peter Jurasik and Andreas Katsoulis. They only got paid for their screen time, and she was getting paid even when she wasn't on the show.
Oh, interesting.
Cookie, that is my face. That's the moneymaker, babe. You can't touch that. What is wrong with you? Help, I'm being attacked. Cookie, no. Release me. Matthew, would you stop filming this cat and save me? And save me from his tyranny. Help, help, I'm being repressed. All right, he's out. Out time for Cookie. Okay. And he stole my pen. He leaped up and snatched the pen out of my hand. Okay.
Well, it's such an enticing toy.
Anyway, all that to say, are you ready to talk about the episode? It was written by JMS, obviously. It was directed by a guy named Jesus Trevino. And if you look him up now, he's credited as Jesus Salvador Trevino. This is the first episode he directed of Babylon 5, but he's going to go on to direct 4 more episodes and Third Space, the movie, and an episode of Crusade.
What's Third Space?
One of the movies.
Oh, I don't think I've seen it.
I don't think I've seen a lot of the movies. I am guilty of, I have a hard time consuming all of the content in a fandom because then I don't have anything left
To look forward to.
So, like, I know the animated movie came out. I bought the animated movie. I'm pretty sure I have it on Blu-ray. I have never unwrapped it because once I watch it, it will be one less thing that I get to experience new.
Okay.
Or, like, the third book in my favorite series of all time came out, and I have not read it because then I'll have finished the series. And that's not a thing that we're going to unpack right now. It's just life. It's how I live my life. So eventually I will, of course, for this, we'll watch all these things. This is one of the things I use the podcast for, is to force myself to do all of the shit that I'm always, otherwise I'd be like, no, I'll wait.
I'm saving that for later.
He is in a book called It's All in the Frijoles. 100 famous Latinos share real life stories, time-tested dichos, favorite folktales and inspiring words of wisdom, which was published in 2000. And if you click on it anywhere, it takes you to the entire Google book.
Oh.
I was just trying to find more information on it, and it was like, oh, would you like to read it? And I was like, whoa, the whole thing, right? So I looked up his little blurb that's in it, and it's literally like a page and a half.
Okay.
And it's about how when he used to leave, like he'd go visit his grandma, and when he'd leave, she'd want to bless him, and he would have to like be on his knees in front of her, and she would like anoint him with oil and have a whole blessing that she would do for him. And when he was leaving for college, she was doing it, but I guess he got like a grandma look on his face, like this is ridiculous, and she slapped him across the face.
I mean, that's a generation.
And was like, listen, you will respect me and you will respect what I'm doing for you. Now shut the fuck up. And he was like, yes, grandma. And he was like, okay, yeah, I shouldn't have done that to my grandma. That was a pretty dick move. But maybe as a culture, we should question the idea that we don't make waves and that we are always quiet and obedient. Because when I went to Hollywood, that wasn't getting me anywhere.
Right.
And so maybe it doesn't benefit us anymore, and it's a thing we need to question. And I was like, oh, what an interesting little 3 paragraphs you have provided for me here. It was good anyway. You can find it online and read it. It's free.
Oh,
he
nice.
wrote and won an award for the best original story and best first work for a movie called Raíces de Sangría in 1978. And it's about a garment factory where there are rising tensions between the workers and the overseers.
Oh.
Anyway, I thought that was interesting. He also directed and won an award for an episode of Prison Break. So he's done a lot. He actually has won quite a few awards. Patricia Tallman. Now, when we were doing The Gathering, I wasn't doing the little back characters yet, so we didn't ever talk about Patricia Tallman, but she is Lyta. She was married to and had a son with the guy who is inside Kosh's encounter suit. So not Ard White Chamberlain, the guy who does the voice, but the guy who's literally physically in the suit. So when she's talking to the suit, she's like, I just wanted to come see you again. She's literally talking to a man that she had a baby with 4 to 6 weeks before this filming.
Wow.
Yeah. Because JMS was like, well, if she's a little bit different this time, it's probably because she literally just had a baby. And I was like, oh my God, she had a baby 4 to 6 weeks after we had our kids. I was like dead. There was no way you were going to get me out to film a television episode. That's crazy town. Like, good for her. That's probably why she's got all the blousy tops on. Because 4 to 6 weeks is still
And the
recovery.
absurdity of filming while you're still recovering from birth, I guess, is justified by the time constraints of Andrea Thompson wanting to leave, and Lyta has to come in.
Well, he said he always intended Lyta to come back, but he had other plot lines for Talia. So Talia ends up being the amalgamation of what Laurel Takashima would have been. So Laurel Takashima from The Gathering was supposed to be Control. She was supposed to be the betrayer.
Okay.
So she would have been the one who shot Garibaldi. She would have been the one who was sending messages, because there's that episode Spider in the Web when they're talking to Control.
Yeah.
She would have been Control. She would have ended up, I think he didn't explicitly state it, but through inference, she would have ended up replacing or becoming more important on the station. And then Ivanova would have been her second in command. So Ivanova would have been like the Corwin, the Tech number 2 character. And Laurel Takashima would have been like the Ivanova character.
Right.
And then eventually she would have left and Ivanova would have become the more important character that she is now.
The second in command.
And Corwin would have stepped in. Anyway, he had a whole thing where he was trying to talk about what should have or would have happened had Laurel Takashima stayed. He said he always intended to have her leave because he knew she had a growing film career. And so he expected her to not stay around for very long. And so Talia was supposed to stay. So Talia would have recovered her personality. Kosh would have helped her recover it using that data crystal that they got from the vicar.
For the future.
Yeah. Except now that's a plot line that goes nowhere. Anyway, there's more on that in a minute, so let me keep going. She's in The Night of the Living Dead and Army of Darkness. Like 2 pretty seminal zombie movies. And then she's also in Austin Powers as the Electric Psychedelic Pussycat Swingers Club waitress, which I think I remember watching Austin Powers and being like, is that Lyta? But she's just in it.
Lyta or Talia?
Lyta.
Oh,
Patricia
Lyta
Tallman.
Okay.
Patricia Tallman.
Sorry, we'd gotten talking about
the
Talia
redhead, not the blonde one.
Gotcha.
She was also in an episode of a thing called Babylon Park, Fright Space, as Lyta Salamander. And this was described as an exciting blend of Babylon 5 and South Park.
What?
In this episode, Lovecraftian extra-dimensional gods invade the space station, led by Nyarlathotep, or IHOP as he likes to be called. And Johnny Newcomb Sherman is at a loss when his nuclear warheads have no effect on them. There was also another one that she was in called Babylon Park Grudge Match as Copina Feel.
Copinafeel?
But I preferred Copina Feel. And Expendable Ensign. Now that is the limit of the information I was able to find on Babylon Park. There is a website linked on imdb.com that you can click on to go to the Babylon Park website, but it is now a children's indoor theme park called Babylon Park that owns that domain. So it still exists, but it's not for that at all. So I opened it and it is one of those ones that has like a title and then behind it is a video.
Yeah.
But a video of like a roller coaster? And I was like, did they turn it into a theme park? Oh, no, it's literally just been 25 years and they no longer own the
They
domain.
bought the domain. Okay.
The only thing I could see is on the follow-up Babylon Park grudge match, there is a cover. And it looks very... Do you remember Flash animation?
Oh, yeah.
The Flash animated videos that were the viral videos of our time. That's what it looks like. It looks like, what was that Legendary Frog? He's the one where we get plot device. What's that, Mr. Frodo? It's a plot device. That is what it looked like. I know you're Googling it. I'm going to let you have your moment over there. She's done a lot of work, but a lot of uncredited work. In fact, she's in like 3 different Star Trek series, all mostly uncredited. I'm like, who was your agent, honey? Who was your agent who let you go uncredited in literally everything? And you know...
It's on Wayback Machine.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. I didn't check
Babylon
Wayback.
Park episode Zot 420 on the septic line. And there's a cartoon version of... Is that the... Well, it's a shadow and... and the guy with the like metal headpiece with the gem.
Oh, okay.
And the giant forehead.
The Soul Hunter?
I don't think he was the Soul Hunter.
The Soul Hunters have the gem in the middle of their forehead. Oh, we haven't met him yet. Oh, okay. Lorian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, send me that and I'll put it in the show notes if anybody wants to read up more on Babylon Park, the parody series of Babylon 5. It was like the same guy who produced, directed everything, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's only marginally on IMDb. So it makes me feel like he added himself to an earlier version of IMDb and he's been towed along through the whole thing and hasn't really gone back and updated any of it. But it's wild that he got Patricia Tallman to be a voice on his parody series. Although apparently as long as she goes uncredited, she'll be in anything. So
yeah,
whatever. You know who I don't have a name and credit for? The ranger at the very beginning. Garrett? Whatever. Derek.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching it and I was like, Derek. I don't remember writing anything down for a Derek. I don't know if I put anything down for a Derek. I don't know that Derek is credited, which would be wild because he is a ranger.
Yeah.
You can tell on account of how he was wearing his super secret uniform and his super secret membership pin. Douglas Bennett is the guy who plays the first man. I think he means, I don't know what first man. They just said first man. The only thing he's been in is Sons of Anarchy. He was in 8 episodes of Sons of Anarchy as Orlin West. Danny De La Paz is the running man. I think it's the guy who's running down the sewer pipe at the very beginning.
Okay.
I guess that's all I could think of. His first acting credit is the ABC After School Specials, which we've mentioned one time before because one of our directors was from the ABC After School Specials. He was also in a movie called Free Jack that starred Mick Jagger, Emilio Estevez, and Anthony Hopkins.
Wow.
I love how much of Anthony Hopkins' career is side quests. Like, if you actually look at some of the shit he's been in, you're like, wow, really? Like, we did Bram Stoker's Dracula. Did we do Bram Stoker's Dracula? We've talked about it at least once. Because Anthony Hopkins is Van Helsing in the Keanu Reeves Dracula.
Yes.
And he is fucking phoning it in so hard. He's not even pretend. He was like, look, if Keanu doesn't have to have a real accent, I don't have to have a real accent. And he looks like at any moment he's going to reveal that this is all part of some sort of kink scene for him and he's just going to leave. Anyway, I feel like Anthony Hopkins deserves to be studied because he's been in like Silence of the Lambs and Free Jack with Mick Jagger. And like anything in between is fair game.
Interesting.
George C. Simmons is the security guard. I think it's the security guard that comes in and gets Lyta first because he was also credited with the girl who got shot, the girl security guard. And the girl's security guard has literally been in this and one other thing. So I didn't put her down. But this guy was in the CBS School Break special. And do you think they had some sort of feud? The ABC After School special and the CBS School Break special.
Or were they the same thing with different names?
I wish we could track it down. I'm sure it's one of those things that people were like, we don't need to preserve this for posterity, so it's going to be fine.
This doesn't deserve to survive.
He was also the Speaker of the House in Legally Blonde 2.
Oh.
There you go. Andrea Thompson, who plays Talia, wanted more screen time for her character. And when she was told that she couldn't, she eventually opted to leave the show. And he says for co-starring in a role in NYPD Blue. But I think she leaves to become a reporter. And then ultimately she doesn't feel like she got enough screen time as a reporter either. So she just quits and has no screen time anywhere ever. Which feels like the most cautionary tale. You could have been in Babylon 5 as long as you wanted to be in Babylon 5 and you were like, no. Well, I don't know Andrea Thompson as a person. Maybe she was a little bit more reasonable than that. It's hard to tell if she was actually being shafted or if she was just framed as hysterical woman.
Gotcha.
In
retrospect.
In retrospect. And you have to kind of, I don't know. She left for her own reasons, and that's okay. It's kind of like how we all need to reevaluate some of the people that were villainized when we were little, like Monica Lewinsky or Lorena Babbitt. You know, a lot more happened. And we were like, ew, Monica Lewinsky is I can't believe she did that to Bill Clinton, instead of being like, wow, I can't believe Bill Clinton used his insane amount of privilege to force a young girl to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, showrunner J. Michael Straczynski felt it was important to include the storyline regarding Ivanova and Talia's implied relationship.
Yeah.
And he did that because he wanted it to feel like in the future, sexuality was just passe. It was like preferring Coke to Pepsi. Nobody gave a shit. Because he said humanity would still have its fair share of problems in the 23rd century, but he thought that by that time, homosexuality would be seen as no more an aberration than someone being left or right-handed.
Okay.
And so he just wanted it to be like a thing that happened, and that's why it's not given any other additional time or attention, because he wanted it to feel banal.
Okay. Like
it was just a thing, which is really interesting considering he would go on to write Sense8.
Right.
So in retrospect, I can see this as the baby little seed of what he was hoping to do with a television show that opens with a rainbow dildo. No, a rainbow strap-on? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Landing on the ground and like jiggling and glistening. So you know what? That's a thing that happened, and here we all are. This is Andrea Thompson's last appearance as Talia Winters.
Aw.
Yeah, they just abandoned the whole Deathwalker season 1. We'll restore her using this. So I guess Kosh was like, oh, well, I guess I can wipe this and reuse that data crystal now.
Good thing I got the rewritable CD.
Not the R, the RW.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a crystal -R, crystal plus R? Remember when they would be plus or minus or R, RW, and you had to remember what all that meant? And it was such bullshit.
Flash drives are so much easier.
You know what's really funny is I remember my first flash drive. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It was
I was there.
112 megabytes, and I paid $60 fucking for it. And I was like, oh, man, this is so expensive. And it was like, this holds as many as 1,200 floppy disks. And I was like, ooh, 1,200 floppy disks? Because, of course, I had a little floppy disk file that I had all my floppy disks in. And I was like, oh, I can replace that with my thumb drive. And then I lost our tiny little SD card that we used for recording. And so I was like, well, I'll just pick another one up. No problem. They're like $15 now. I went to the store to buy one, and they are like so fucking expensive. I could not believe it was like 2008 prices over there. It was nuts. So now we're working with the tiny little one that I could find, which I think can hold about 2 hours of audio minutes. So pray for us. Also, join the Patreon. We can buy another big one. Due to TV censorship rules and fear of homophobic backlash, it's only heavily implied that Talia and Susan are a couple, but it's never stated openly. So that was another reason they didn't fully unveil that they were a couple. Well, that they had a moment, an intimate moment, I will say. They were well on their way to becoming a couple.
Mm-hmm.
We were robbed, is what I'm saying. Talia was programmed with a sleeper personality by the Psi Corps. And she is control. Well, we know that. I just copied and pasted a whole bunch of stuff from it's fun because almost, I would say, half of the page on the Lurker Guide was devoted to fan theories about what was coming next for Talia's character. Ooh, when Talia comes back, will she do this? Ooh, now that they have a telekinetic person under their thumb, will they finally use Talia as the telekinetic assassin that they wanted? And just on and on and on. And all of it's moot. She's never coming back. And so it was, as a fan who's moved forward and is looking back at this, I was like, oh, you really had hope she was coming back, and she ain't coming back. This is the part later. Then moving on to JMS's actual comments. And he's talking about how you have to remember that this is a novel and it uses the structure of a novel. And that means you have to have some real surprises as you go. Mm-hmm. And he specifically referenced a whole bunch of Stephen King novels. And I was cracking up because we specifically said in the last episode that it reminds me of The Stand. Yes. And then in this one, he was like, well, you know how in The Shining, that one guy is set up as he's going to show up, he's going to save everybody. He's the one who gets the snowplow. He's the one who travels all the way to the Overlook. Mm-hmm. He fights off these brush monsters. This happens in the book. And then he finally gets through the door and he, bam, gets an axe to the chest and dies immediately. Yeah. And then you, as the reader, have to go, well, fucking now what? And he's like, I wanted a now what moment. We've been setting Talia up as she's the key. She's the future. She's
gaining everyone's trust.
She's gonna be big. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, actually she's dead. Never mind. He said that means that you have to have some real surprises. Anyone is fair game. To the question, why did you get rid of Sinclair? Why did you get rid of spoiler removed? Which I think he put in there because later he goes, oh, wait, I haven't said anything about that yet, or that hasn't happened yet. There was only one answer, because I felt like it and because I thought it'd make the story a lot more interesting. He said every once a year he likes to stand there with a gun and gather all of his characters and go, well, which one of you could I stand to lose? You cruel son of a bitch. And he goes, the stories I like best are the ones that ratchet up the tension and the uncertainty inch by inch until you're screaming. This could apply to any of Stephen King's novels, which is what I was like. And he goes, like Mother Abigail in The Stand. And I was like, you just read The Stand, you son of a bitch. That's why you wrote the last one. Yeah. I knew it. You were like, oh, I think that could work.
That's a good plot line
yeah.
there.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it first, but I bet I could put it on TV
The
first.
Stand on a space station.
When is The Stand miniseries? Is that 93? The one with, oh, God, Lieutenant Dan? I don't remember what his real name is. I don't know why I'm like this.
94.
94. Oh, so it's the year before this.
Yeah.
Wow, he didn't even get it on TV first. And then, of course, when
he could have. What do you mean?
Oh, this is 95.
Yeah, so he could have watched it. He'd been like, oh, I heard about this.
I said he read the book and he was like, well, I can't write it first, but I could get it on TV first. But he didn't because they already made the Stand miniseries.
Yep.
Plus, a whole bunch of other shows are doing the whole, the plague. And so, of course, when someone was like, hey, how come you're also doing the plague? He was like, what? What? What do you mean? What do you mean I'm not also doing the plague. I'm doing the plague alone, separately, totally differently from everybody else.
It's not that he's copying his contemporaries. They're all copying Stephen King.
Exactly. That's what he didn't say. He was like, no, I'm not copying the other Star Trek episodes that are doing this. I'm copying The Stand. Get it right. He goes, Mother Abigail on The Stand was supposed to be their hope for the future. And in short order, she's vulture food. I don't think that that's specifically how it happens in the book, but that's okay. She does die, but she dies when it's like time. They got to leave. And anyway, it's fine. There's a moment when she dies and it's a moment. Like it's not unexpected. He goes, oh, well, that makes it interesting. Oh, hell, now what? And then he puts in parentheses, Stephen actually does this a lot in his books, and it's a technique I've learned as well. Then he goes, like Boromir in Lord of the Rings was a capable, skilled fighter, deemed absolutely essential to the company of the ring, and then, oops, he's by a tree full of orc arrows. Stuff happens.
He got turned into a quiver.
Yep. He says one other thought on Talia. One of the motifs we've played with from the start was always showing Talia in mirrors. We're always showing the reflection or her opposite just to set up an emotional / symbological. Is symbological a word?
No, it would be symbolic.
Yeah, that feels like symbology.
Symbolism.
Yeah, I was like, symbologic. Okay, I don't think he made that fucking word up. He did. Emotional, symbological level. His words, not mine. He said, we did what we could to accommodate with her without destroying the story arc. Because somebody must have pointed out that she's been trash talking him in interviews. Mm-hmm. And he was like, listen, she's entitled to go off and say whatever she wants to. But like, I regret that she's taken out her frustrations in this way. Either one is a team player, part of an ensemble, or one is not. He's like, it's an ensemble show. If the episode is about you, you get to be in it. If it's not about you, you don't get to be in it. That's just how the rules work. Mm-hmm. We are very proud of the fact that the cast members, as they stand now, are all ensemble team players. I was like, well, that's a little doop doop, a little dig there. Then he does reference the fact that Sheridan has now seen part of his dream come true because we have a lot of revelations about Ivanova in this episode.
Yeah.
Talia also has a lot of revelations about Ivanova in this episode. Remember, she says, do you know who I am? You get the whole flashback, so you don't even have to try to remember. They're just like, here you go.
Yeah.
And he goes, at what point will any of the other parts of his dream come true? If they haven't already. Didn't laugh, but I added that. And then
one can imagine.
He spent, as one can imagine, a lot of time discussing the idea that Talia and Ivanova were a couple. Mm-hmm. And in very 1995
language,
contemporary language.
Yeah.
And it looked like one of the criticisms that he was refuting repeatedly was the fact that he included a non-straight couple in his writing when he himself is straight. Oh. And he was like, okay, so I'm also not religious. Should I not have religious people? I'm also not a woman. Should I only have men?
Right.
Like, if I'm only allowed to write from my own limited perspective, that's not going to give me a lot of characters to work with.
Right.
And then he wrote, I didn't include it, but he had one part where he was like, I refuse to allow you guys to politicize this. This isn't about politics. This is about, I have a cast of characters. I am writing the characters as they are. They are doing the things that they want to do. It has absolutely nothing to do with politics and everything to do with them just being themselves.
Right.
So
being coherent characters.
Fuck off and quit trying to make this political. Basically the same argument he made where he was like, this isn't about AIDS. It's about the way that people react to sickness. And so I chopped the top part off, but there was a whole section where he was repeating or paraphrasing a bunch of the criticism that he'd gotten about this episode. And so then he just summed it up with translation. They didn't like it. Well, tough. It was right for this story and this show. And it seems to me rather hypocritical for some folks who applaud the show for tolerance, for my standing up to those who want to exclude religion from TV, to then turn around and say the show is diminished because it showed the same tolerance to another group or perspective. So in case you thought that bigotry was new, surprise, it's not.
Yeah, I like this summary.
Yeah, I guess tolerance is okay as long as it's only pointed one way. You say that as a Christian. You think any sex except that between a husband and wife is wrong. Well, as I recall, the Bible also speaks against murder.
We've depicted deaths by the hundreds of thousands, and we're talking here about the depicting of the act, simply showing it, not the value judgments made after the fact. Why does one, which is so barely hinted at as to be almost invisible, cause the show to be diminished, where the other does not? My job is not to reinforce your personal, political, social, or religious beliefs. My job is not to reinforce my personal, political, social, or religious beliefs. Then it isn't art or storytelling anymore. It's simply propaganda. My job is to tell the story about these people, as mixed and varied as they are today. And there is no outside objective criteria as to say what is or isn't necessary in a story. That is the sole province of the author. You may or may not like it. You may or may not choose to watch it. Just as people who don't like to see religion and God discussed on TV may dislike it or choose not to watch it.
But you'll excuse me if I see complaints about this one little thing from the religious side. After all I've done to present religious characters and the religious life in a positive fashion, to be hypocritical and frankly somewhat ungrateful. It's as though all this means nothing because of one thing, one outside imposed litmus test that disregards anything and everything else that has to be done, or that has been done.
Instead of single issue voters, they're single issue viewers.
Yeah. And he goes, I didn't include it, but he said, if you don't do it, you get criticized for not doing it. If you do it a little, you get criticized for not doing it enough. If you do a lot of it, you get criticized for doing too much. You can't win. I quit.
Yeah. I'm not playing that game.
I'm not playing that game. I have the game's made up and the points don't matter. So fuck all of y'all. I've got a television show. I'm making it and I'm putting it on the TV and I don't give a shit. You know, it's funny because we think of the idea as comment culture, the thought that everyone feels entitled to comment and to have their comment be validated on literally everything as a new phenomenon, as a phenomenon of the social media era. And honestly, given the opportunity, this is a part of the human culture that would have existed no matter when.
Right.
And it feels like a holdover from when we were like 150 to smaller groups, and everyone's opinion did matter because it affected the overall health of the group.
Yeah.
And now that's not the case, and yet we're still like impelled to share our feelings on a thing.
Just the gut reactions, surface thoughts.
And it's just that some people need to shut the fuck up because it's not yours to comment on. And they just don't have the switch in their brain that says, oh, okay, well, you know what I'll do? I just won't put beans in my soup.
I wonder if that would fall under the umbrella of parasocial relationships.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm invested enough in this as a fan that you should pay attention to me.
Yeah, it's probably because JMS was active on the forums.
Yeah.
They felt like they had a relationship with him, and then so they felt like they were entitled to comment when they didn't think he was doing something well.
Yeah.
And so every once in a while he has to be like, okay, I'm here, I'm interacting with you guys, but you don't actually get to decide where the story is going. He says, so straight up, if I should stop tolerating or showing viewpoints that are not my own, spoken as someone who is absolutely straight, then should I now stop showing religion as well? Because that's what this comes down to. Is this what you want? Because religion is as included in my discretion as well as anything else on this show. You want me to be less tolerant? You just say the word.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good move.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to describe the whole thing that would have happened with Takashima, where she would have been control. Psychor would have had her as a plant. Because remember, her background was on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been the perfect time for that to have happened to her.
Oh,
And
wasn't Talia also on Mars?
I don't think she was. I think it's Lyta who
Okay.
spent time on Mars. But he goes, I passed that thread along to Talia. And then when Talia and Ivanova first meet and later reluctantly have a drink, Ivanova says to Talia, you're as much a victim as she was, to which Talia replies, I don't feel like a victim. And of course, that's exactly what she was. Because remember, Ivanova goes, yeah, and I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because Ivanova was 100% correct. So there was foreshadowing immediately about the fact that Talia was a victim of the Psychor. And later...
Was Ivanova's earlier rant about Ivanova is God foreshadowing?
Why? Is Ivanova God?
Oh no, I'm just. We know that nothing happens with that,
No.
but I just thought it'd be fun.
You were like, I just want to remind everybody that at one point Ivanova claimed to be
not
God.
not everything Ivanova says is foreshadowing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Ivanova is one of my favorite characters
Yes.
for her like grandiose pronouncements when she's like, Ivanova is God. Just do what I fucking say. Because, I feel like every woman every once in a while wants to just be like, stop questioning what I'm talking about and just do it. And I say this as someone who is currently reading God, Emperor of Dune, where the main character is the mansplaining final boss. And if you want to know more about that, just tune into our episode upcoming on Strange and Beautiful Book Club, where I am sure I will rant about how Frank Herbert managed to hit so many tropes so quickly and so horrifically all in one book.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, it's time to start the episode. It's only 45 minutes. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
There was a lot of context to cover.
The beginning is a very delicate time. We go now to the year 2259. I think it's 59. Are we in 59?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Good for me.
Yeah, it's season 2. It's 59.
Because we start with Sheridan and Delenn. And Sheridan and Delenn are getting their morning papers from their kiosk.
Their news feed,
You
their
know-
customized news feed.
You know what job I want? I want to be the guy that's had to stand behind there and be like 3, 2, 1, troop, and drop the paper through the little slot.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's dispensing it.
Yeah. Printing on demand.
What's funny is he thought forward enough. They have little pads, like they have little digital pads that
Yeah.
they'll do stuff on sometimes. And they have their screen where they can clearly use like a touch screen to move through stuff, but they can't get the universe today on their screen in their room.
So that's something that I think Star Trek did is they basically had ebooks. They had tablets
Yeah.
for showing lots of text and graphics and things. And they've almost never had paper.
No.
But Babylon 5,
Oh, sometimes
like, oh, yeah.
paper, sometimes like transparency, like
Mhm.
overhead transparency films. Sometimes little digital readout thingies, which are sometimes like a handheld thing and sometimes like a leather folder with a pen.
yeah.
It varies so widely. It's like whatever they had on the prop cart when they were
Yeah.
rolling by. That's what they're holding in their hands when they're at their desk. It's fine. They're getting their paper. But to get their paper, they have to recycle the old paper. And it goes shoop and does like a flash of light.
I wonder if you pay a deposit on the paper
Oh, maybe.
and if you turn in your old copy, you get a discount.
Well, it says like credit received. So
Yeah.
maybe they must. And so they greet each other at the Universe Today kiosk. And Sheridan's like, I didn't know you read the Universe Today. I mean, it is the Universe Today, technically speaking. It's not just, I mean, it is only Earth news, but it's Earth news in the way the USA Today is.
U.S. news?
Yeah. It's supposed to be the whole universe, but it's really just the
Right.
Like
From the
Earth.
perspective of Earth.
of Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's covering anything in the universe, just only from a human perspective.
The human
And
lens.
she goes, yeah, after my last encounter with a reporter, I felt I should be more prepared in the future. Remember, she like cried and bit her hand and sobbed and wailed and rubbed ashes on her face or whatever the fuck she did the last time she encountered the reporter was like, hey, so do you think it's okay for you to have appropriated our genetic code? And she was like, ah!
Wasn't that the hair
Screaming
episode too?
intensifies. Maybe, I don't know if it was the hair episode, but it was back before she figured her hair out. That's for sure. Because we've turned a corner in terms of Delenn's styling. They went from having her hair like sideways and over the crest to her getting, you know what? I told you. She was ready to fight because she got bangs. I
Yeah.
knew it. You could, every time there's bangs.
I wonder if Delenn got bangs or if Mira Furlan got bangs.
I don't know. I hope it was Mira. And she was just like,
And
figure it out.
They went with it.
Fucking fix. She showed up one day and they were like, oh no. And she was like, listen, I was going through some shit at home and I got bangs. And they were like, girls say no more. Every woman knows bangs. Every woman, the minute you have a friend that shows up with bangs, you're like, oh no, are you okay? Do we need to go talk about it? Like, bitch, everybody knows bangs. And Delenn goes, I found this notion of the press a fascinating but sometimes troubling concept. And Sheridan's like, ugh, join the club. And this always makes me nostalgic for the dead trope of the intrepid reporter that will stop at nothing to expose the truth.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get that trope anymore because we don't trust the press in the
Right.
same way anymore. But in the 90s, it was incredibly common.
Yeah.
The I will make you uncomfortable. You have to be careful what you say around me because I will dig until I find the truth. Intrepid reporter.
Mm-hmm.
And the only place that that's still alive in any way, shape, or form is Superman.
Mm.
Because Superman is the intrepid reporter.
Right.
And Lois Lane.
Yeah.
The Lois Lane archetype is effectively
Yeah,
dead.
it's a core part of her character.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought the notion of this free press, I can learn more from reading the universe today than I get from my own reports is probably the one part of all of Babylon 5 that didn't age as well as he thought it was going to. Because let me tell you, if you are not in the U.S. and you're looking at us from the outside going, wow, how come they know everything that's going on and they're not doing anything? Let me tell you,
Because we
folks,
don't know everything that's going
we
on.
don't know what's happening. Nobody's telling us anything. Sheridan goes, join the club. Like the idea of the free
only
press.
place that I'm getting like up to date relevant information is from like historians turned journalists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I follow a couple of accounts in a variety of places that are from other than the US and they post news
Yeah.
stories to be like, hey guys, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's where I get most of what's happening. Anyway, he turns his paper in and we get the like, which part of, if you want to go to this particular lurker guide, he has a very detailed breakdown of how they do the editing for a TV show.
Ooh.
Like a very, very detailed breakdown. Because there's a part that honestly, Garibaldi showing up at the ship got way more text time than it ever deserved. And also the moment where Talia puts her hand on the side of Ivanova's face.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time we see them, her hand is not on her face. And so everyone thought they had filmed a kiss and cut the kiss out.
Oh.
And so he had to directly address the idea that there was never a kiss. And he said one of the things they do is refilm the scene from multiple directions because
Yes.
sometimes you can't do it at the same time because your camera would be visible.
Right.
And what the actor has to do is remember to do the same hand gestures exactly the way that they did them the last time.
Yeah.
If they pick a cup up at the word whatever, they have to pick the cup up at the word whatever again, every single time.
Right.
He
And
said
that's how you
there-
get continuity errors.
And he said what they do is they film in widescreen on film.
Okay.
And then they take it to the studio and they scan it and make it digital. And then they decide what chunk of the widescreen they will zoom in on to give it the square aspect ratio.
Interesting.
So they said that sometimes you can move where the focus is
Mm-hmm.
if there's a continuity error, and sometimes you're just stuck.
Okay.
And so they didn't cut out a kiss. It's just that Andrea Thompson lifted her hand in one take and didn't lift her hand in the other take. And so ultimately it looks
and they
like
didn't notice until
and then there was nothing they could do about it. But he
Yeah.
has a very detailed description of how they do the filming, which I thought was fascinating. It reminded me of when we talked to Fred Molin, who did all the music for Forever Night.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did you do it before you had digital music? And he was like, well, we kind of did. Like we would do it on tape. It was interesting, like how they did all these things before
Yeah.
you had access to like a computer, because you're not filming it on a digital camera and then
Right.
taking the file. You're literally filming on film and then having to turn the film into a digital file. Wild. Which makes it upscalable if you have the original
Right.
film. Anyway, Sheridan is like, hey, can I have the huge, but maybe more detailed information on the 6th game of the World Series?
Sports fans.
Sports. And it goes, stand by, preparing personalized edition of the universe today. Your best source for information on events shaping the universe around us. And then it pops out and he goes, all yours. And lets Delenn walk over to get her paper. So she returns her paper. And then it's like standard preferences. And she's like, yep, go ahead. Yep. And, just the usual. Don't tell them what I get.
And so she says to Sheridan,
Oh, I know. I love this part.
While this incessant curiosity may seem necessary to you, Minbari respect the privacy of others by not prying into their affairs. To express undue curiosity.
I know. Then it interrupts her with, unable to insert I on Minbari section. Do you wish to accept the addition anyway?
Yes, I do.
And he's like,
Sheridan's like, I on
okay.
Minbari.
Uh-huh.
It is good to know what your people are thinking and saying about my people. Oh, sure. Yeah. Sure, Delenn.
Right. And she's like, and I often learn things about my own world before I'm told what I need to know and know more.
But totally respecting their privacy and not prying into their affairs.
She lies like a liar and then immediately gets caught in her lie.
Instant karma.
I love how the only true thing about the idea that Minbari never lie is that itself is a lie.
Yeah.
It's not, you can't say they don't lie because they lie at any possible opportunity. Then we got to Mars, and this is where the guy's like, oh, God, Derek.
They're in
Derek.
In a cave, wounded,
the sewers. It's
dirty.
Supposed to be the sewers. I made it. I told you I would, Derek. I got the information, Derek. We never ever see Derek.
We never see his face.
Oh, we see his face. We just never see him again. He gets the data crystal, and he's like, there's no time.
And you said these are rangers?
That guy's a ranger. Not the guy in the water, but Derek is a ranger.
The guy who dies is not?
No, the guy who dies, I don't know if he's a ranger. But I don't know because he's not wearing his super secret ranger uniform with his super secret ranger membership pin on. But Derek is. He's even got the cape on, and he's in the sewers, which, let me tell you, bold choice.
Yes, cape in sewers.
Because he has to kneel down and grab the guy who's dying. And he's like, tell them.
I know, your calves get all wet when your bottom of your cape gets wet.
Well, he kneels, so the whole cape must just saturate.
And then when you run, it's slap, slap, slap.
And he's going to have to do the thing where you like flick it to the side and grab it in one hand and then run with it in your hand.
Yeah.
Because people are chasing him. He's like, you men go ahead. You two go over there. And he's like, oh, snap. And he cheeses it.
Unless you have a nice breeze and you can run into it. And then you get like super drama points.
Oh, unless your cape is really wet and it's just stuck to the back of your legs. Yeah. And then it's billowing out above it, but not anyway. Listen, from people who've worn capes before, this was a bad idea. You'd think they'd have like a formal uniform and an non-business uniform.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but it's my time to stand on business, so I have to ditch the cape. Like, they take the cape off and they're like, oh, shit. Like Mr. Rogers. They need a business cape and then a shorter cape for when they're out doing work.
I had a Mr. Rogers moment the other day because I was wearing my long sweater and slippers, and then I had to go outside. So I hung up my sweater and took my slippers off, and then I put on my boots and put on my outside coat. I went and did my thing outside, and then I came back in, and I took off my coat, put on my sweater, took off my boots, and put on my slippers, and went in the house.
And you were like, yes, I understand now, Mr. Rogers. I knew you were right all along. And when we come back from the intro, because then, of course, then we go to the intro, and then we come back. And I don't know why JMS felt like people had important conversations in the bathroom, but this is not the first time we have had an important conversation in the bathroom.
Right.
Except were they peeing when we first came in this time? Because when we were there with Sinclair and Garibaldi, we started out at the urinals, and then they walked over and washed their hands together, and then they left together. All I know is there's a Pakmara only area, and the guy walked out and went, "Whoo!" Like
shivered.
Like, ooh, do not go in there.
And then when Garibaldi got ready to leave, he looked at that bathroom and like grimaced.
Well, the Pakmara are the carrion eaters.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I'm glad they didn't all die of plague. They've died of a couple of things. They died of plague. Oh, then there was that Pakmara who had like an eye. He had like an infected eye, and Dr. Franklin was like poking it to show his injuries what was happening.
Yeah, all of his medical staff
Yeah,
that he was training.
his medical staff. He's like, "Oh, good morning, Mr. Garibaldi." Oh, Captain, did you sleep well? And this is when the
okay,
punk
so
rock comes
Sinclair and Garibaldi had a meeting in the bathroom
Yeah.
with a like sensitive conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sheridan and Garibaldi had a meeting in the bathroom to have a sensitive conversation.
Yeah.
Garibaldi prefers having sensitive conversations in the bathroom.
You think it's Garibaldi?
That's the
I don't
common
know.
element.
My takeaway is that JMS is the guy who doesn't give you a urinal gap and who tries to start a conversation with you, even if he's a stranger, while you're both still peeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see
That's
that.
my takeaway. He doesn't give a
Doesn't
buffer.
everybody do this?
He's like,
You just chat people up at the urinal next
I
to you.
mean, we're just standing there. It's not weird. We both got dicks, so who cares, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my takeaway, to be honest, because there's not stalls. It's the year of our Lord 2259, and we still don't give men stalls. So it's fine. It doesn't matter. What matters is he's like, man, you know what? I got up early this morning and took a walk in the garden, and you know what I miss? Trees.
Big fucking trees.
Garibaldi's like, what? We got trees. And he's like, no, fucking huge trees. Big trees. You know, trees with like roots and shit.
And I thought his list of trees, redwoods, firs, pines.
Maybe that's just
That's what about like oak? A big old fucking oak tree.
I want him to just start listing trees like in Forrest Gump when the guy is listing all the different ways you can cook shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
And we leave, and every time we cut back, he's like, hickory, chestnut, cherry,
Ash.
spruce, fir.
Sequoia.
That's the whole episode. At the very end, he's like, oh, when are we going to have a secret meeting? And meanwhile, they've done everything for the rest of the episode. And Garibaldi's like, yeah, and the moment has passed. It's fine. Never mind. It's fine. He goes,
And then
trees. You know what I'm
Garibaldi
talking about?
activates his jamming device.
Which is, remember you pointed out, he picked it up at the end of the last episode. Yeah, the last time we saw the jamming device. And he's like, you know the best place to have this jammed conversation? The bathroom. No one's going to walk in and be like, is that a jamming device? You can be like, listen, I had chili last night. You know what I mean?
Well, the bathroom is a semi-public area.
Mm-hmm.
And so there would be less, I guess it's a less plausible place to put like a listening device.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to have a private secret conversation in the bathroom.
Except if anybody's observed Garibaldi for more than 15 minutes, they realize he has all important meetings in the bathroom.
And so there's, I guess, it's less plausible that anyone even put a listening device in the bathroom, and then you use it just in case they did.
If I was going to bug any room, it would be the male restroom that all of the high up officers use.
Yeah.
Which is this room, because it's the one that's right next to the CNC.
Yeah.
That would be me, because everybody goes to the bathroom and has conversations they don't think are going to be overheard because it's the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me, I guess. But it depends on how the device works. Does it substitute ambient noise? So if you have a listening device, you still hear like water running and people walking around, and it samples the ambient noise in the area and then duplicates it?
Mm-hmm.
Or does it literally radio silence? Because if you had a listening device in the bathroom, all of a sudden you'd hear nothing. And then something
they mentioned before that it blocks devices. Who gave it to them? It was one of the like Earth Force people.
Yeah. She left it behind.
And I think she said something about how it worked, where they wouldn't be able to tell that they were using a jamming device.
Well, she just says this way we won't be overheard. She doesn't really describe how it works. So it would depend, because it would be conspicuous to have a period of silence, kind of like how Nixon got caught. Because he had the tapes, remember? Right. And there was a period where the tapes were erased. And the lady was like, oh, well, I accidentally hit the pause button while I was answering the phone. Have you ever seen the video, the picture of her trying to do it? They're like, cool, do it. And she was like, Yeah, you like put your foot on the pause button like this, and then you reach. What? She has to like. She looks like she's about to die. Like, look up that picture. It's pretty funny. Anyway.
Also, the bathroom would be harder to install a specialized listening device that wouldn't be caught. Like if you could sneak a specialized listening device into somebody's quarters, it would be harder for that to be found because the person just walks into the room and unless they're looking for like a thing in the dirt of their potted plant or whatever, they're not going to notice it for a while.
Right.
But in the bathroom, it's all hard, clean surfaces that get cleaned regularly.
Right. Do you think they just close the door and irradiate the entire room to disinfect it?
So if multiple species are all using the same restrooms, I was thinking about this when the Pakmara came out.
Of course you were.
You're going to have much more comprehensive material handling and like air cycling because the exhaust, the farts from one species may actually be toxic to another species.
Right.
And so.
But they don't filter the recycled air, Matthew. We learned that in the last episode. So
that Pakmara fart.
that Pakmara separate bathroom is merely a formality. It's just because a regular toilet doesn't accommodate whatever is happening in there. Okay, we've spent enough time in the toilet. It's fine. The whole point of this is they have a secret meeting to say, should we bring in Talia into our secret club that we've only met twice, but we're still a secret club, you guys? Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, sure, let's do it, dog. We'll do it tomorrow. And luckily they wait because that would have been disastrous. So then we go to Talia and Ivanova having a meal together.
Finally.
And Talia's like, it's really hard to believe it's taken us so long to get to this point. And this is interesting because the timeline, one of the websites I check gives us the timeline, and this actually takes place over 2 months.
This episode?
This episode. Between October and December of 2259.
Oh.
And so I was watching it like, was that how long it takes them to bring in all of the people? To just come in and be like, hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. And that was happening for 2 months and nobody was like, hey guys, is Sheridan okay?
Oh, hold on. Is it 2 months between the ranger getting the information in the cave and
her showing up on
her showing up?
5. I just kind of want Talia and Ivanova to have a couple months together.
Yeah.
Because she says, I'm trying to get my quarters fixed, but I can't get anybody to fix the air handler. Everybody's booked up. And then like the next day, she's like, oh, they fixed the air handler. So like I want there to be a time passage there. And that they spent some time together. Yeah. Anyway, Talia's like, wow, I can't believe it's taken us this long to get here. 2 years. And Ivana's like, well, you didn't actually make that very easy. And Talia's like, hold up, you think I'm the problem? And Ivanova says, yeah, all you had to do was admit that you were wrong and I was right and everything would have been fine.
Which is a very Ivanova attitude.
You are the most stubborn. That's what Talia says. And then Ivanova gets a call because a ship just came in and it's just sitting there. And he's like, I don't know. This feels like the same way that the missing transport from the last episode was like, when we get to it, maybe we'll go rescue those 200 people. He's like, hey, this ship just came through the jump point and it's like
drifting,
just chilling there. And like, I don't know. And you see it and it's like sideways and it's all shot up and there's like holes in the hull. And he's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem okay. Like maybe we should go get it. And so they get up to leave. And this is when Talia is like, oh, I got to find a place to stay tonight. I really better get to it. If only this wasn't a literal port city, which probably has tons of available housing. Mm-hmm. Oh, ho hum. I have to find a place to stay. I was thinking about going to the murder sector. And Ivanova's like, oh, no. Ugh.
I figured I could find an empty room with boxes.
Yeah, there's plenty. I'll line some boxes up, put a blanket down, And she's like, oh, my God, no, don't do that. Look, you can come and hang out at my quarters tonight. And Talia's like, oh, no, I couldn't. And Ivanova's like, oh my God, yeah, totally you can. I love the company. And Talia's like, okay, all right. Like, oh no, yeah, sure. Of course I will. Of course I'm going to go stay with you. Which we've talked a lot about how telepaths find it uncomfortable to be around normal people.
Mm-hmm.
Mundanes or whatever they call them. And then she's like, oh, sure, I'll sleep with you. That's fine. I'll sleep in your room.
I wonder if Talia is comfortable with Ivanova because all of the like accidental telepathic exposure that a telepath would have with mundanes, she doesn't get, like in Edward Bella's situation. Oh, I'm not picking up noise from you.
Oh, you're
I wanna spend
curiously
time
restful
with
to
you.
be around. Yeah. Okay. I mean, maybe. But then she'd be like, wait a minute, why? Why am I not
She
picking
just hasn't
anything up?
noticed yet
Mm,
because Ivanova's so cute.
right. And then there was a lot of time devoted to the fact that if they had intimacy, not sex,
Mm-hmm.
if they banged each other, remember how Talia was like, when two telepaths have sex,
Mhm.
their souls come together.
Yeah.
And they were like, hold up, if she was doing that with Ivanova, wouldn't she have noticed that Ivanova had telepathic ability?
Mm-hmm.
And JMS was like, they have to choose to do that.
Right.
They don't just do that. That's like a,
You
if
open yourself
if
up.
you want to do it, you can't. So then telepaths can still have casual sex,
Yeah.
which I think was the comment we made when it popped up, which was like,
Mhm.
you can't have a one night stand as a telepath because that'd be horrifying. But apparently you can. You can just turn that off.
Yeah.
And then he reiterated that like 5 times. He had to keep being like, no, it's a choice. It's a choice. You don't, just the same way you don't have to completely emotionally commit to everyone you've ever had sex with. You don't have to open yourself up completely to everyone
Mhm.
you have sex with.
Yeah.
And then we go up. Ivanova goes up to the CNC. And this is when they're like, oh, look at the scoring on the hull. Huh. She must have been hit by something. Anyway. Hey, you out there? Unidentified ship. This is Babylon Control. Please respond.
I thought this scene was interesting, given the sleeper agent angle and the like blue side lighting on the tech guy
Yeah.
in the foreground and Ivanova in the background. It reminded me of how in Star Wars where we have that scene with Luke
Oh,
where
yeah.
he has different lighting from different sides.
Right.
And then we have this guy like way in the foreground and he's like solid blue.
Yeah.
And then Ivanova in the background in regular light. And it's like, oh, he's in the shadows.
Oh. Good observation there. I notably that scene with Luke where he's like underneath the control panel and he's got half light and half dark.
Mhm.
And it's right before like my favorite musical moment of all of Star Wars when he comes out and he's like, no, and he starts hammering at Vader and it has that swelling music. That's on
Yeah.
no soundtrack ever. That was the first moment where somebody pointed out to me that was supposed to show his like conflict between light and dark. And it occurred to me that there might be more to the way people chose lighting and music than just he was under the console, so half of his face was in shadow.
Right.
This was right around the same time that I had the
Visual
revelation.
symbologically represented.
Symbology, yes. This is right around the same time I had the revelation that the crust on bread doesn't actually have a different nutritional value than the rest of the bread. And I was
You were getting woke.
in college. I was making myself a sandwich and I was like, it's just the part that gets baked more. It's not different from the rest of the bread. I mean, in my defense, the skin of an apple or the skin of another kind of fruit does have a different nutritional value
Right.
than the inside. So when my mom was like, oh no, the crust is the best part of the bread for you, I was like, okay, sure. I will not question.
Maybe that's why
this.
my grandma always, whenever she baked bread, whenever you bake bread with my grandma, you take the loaves out, you set them on the counter to cool, and then
Yeah.
you get a stick of butter and slather the stick
Yes.
of butter on the top of the bread.
I've witnessed this. She just unwraps the end of the stick and just grabs it and literally just rubs the butter all over it. See, but Mom wasn't saying it's the best tasting part.
Right.
Her contention was it had the most nutritional value of all the rest of the bread.
I think a lot of us heard that.
Right. Well, it's because they didn't want to cut the crusts off. So they just lied to your face. They were like, no, you have to eat them. That's where all the nutrients live. They migrate to the outside edges.
They lied to you rather than support your preferences.
Look, boomer parents didn't lie the same way Mimbari don't lie.
Yeah.
They lie until they get caught. And then they get mad because you ghost them. I know. Then they gaslight you. I never said that. I never would have said that. Okay. Well, here's a video of you saying it. Okay, but that's AI. That's AI. Why do you know it's AI only when it doesn't matter? Anyway, what's wrong with your quarters? Okay, here we go. You made me lose track of where I was.
Good.
This is the highly contentious part where Garibaldi shows up at the dock.
Okay, here's my take on why Garibaldi's there. Any ship that arrives goes through security check. This one had to be escorted in to a different bay. It's not piloting itself into the regular docking bays.
Right.
Security is always there when any ship arrives. This one had to be escorted in by the Star Furies.
You don't have to convince me.
Security's there.
You don't have to convince me. I don't think anything is shocking about this.
Anybody who complained about this on the forums, forum. It's fora is the plural. But as I was thinking, there was only one forum.
Babylon but you would forum. Have different pages on the forum.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
What matters here is that
if you're listening and you were complaining on the forum.
That was a dumb hill to die on.
Yeah.
Okay. Because a ship showed up. It had obviously been through a battle. It had an incorrect ID.
Security's going to be there.
It had to be towed in. And of course, Garibaldi's going to show up. And
nobody's responding.
Of course, Garibaldi's going to show up. It's unusual. He's a curious fellow. He will be there. Of course he's going to be there.
Yeah.
Why would he delegate that? It's interesting.
Yeah.
He loves a good mystery and hates a good mystery like he loves and hates himself.
Yeah.
And literally the doctor says it. He goes, any luck tracing the ship's ID? And he's like, nah, it just leads me to a probably bogus serial number. He's like, have you reported it yet? The Dr. Franklin's like, oh, did you report it? And he's like, no, not till I know what's inside. That's why Garibaldi's there specifically, too, is because he'll be the only one who knows anything about it.
Yeah.
And he knows where he stands, and he doesn't trust anybody else.
And he's good at compartmentalizing information.
Right. And then they bring somebody out, and it's Lyta. And he's like, oh, my God, I know her. That's, oh, God, what was her name? I don't know, because I didn't try to fuck her. Lyta Alexander. And they're like, what? Who? Because he's the only one who's still there from the time. Yeah.
Yep.
And then he goes, it's Lyta. And the doctor goes, who? And then the transition is him going, Lyta Alexander. And when we turn, it's actually Sheridan.
Yeah.
So that was a good transition.
That was a smooth transition.
That was a nice one. It was well done. And he goes, she was the first telepath assigned to Babylon 5, a little over 2 years ago. And then she left like 6 weeks later. And he's like, oh, okay, so it didn't last long. Longer than me at a job, but yeah. So what's the problem? And he's like, yeah, I suppose you could say that. She arrived here the day before Kosh, and then we get the flashback moment where we go back to the past and recap The Gathering. I'm not going to recap it for you. You watch The Gathering, and if you didn't, go watch it because that's what happens.
And listen to our episode on it.
Yeah, you could do that too. And he's like, yeah, she tried to say that Sinclair tried to kill Kosh, but it turned out it was a guy in a changeling net trying to impersonate him. And Sheridan's not like, the fuck happened while you guys were here? There were raiders everywhere, dudes showing up in changeling nets.
Interstellar contraband.
Yeah, it was wild. A guy showed up and turned into in a car and war machine and burned his way through the hull. Another guy showed up and turned into God? What happened under Sinclair? That was a wild
Just wait,
season.
Sheridan.
That was a wild season when you look back at it. Babylon 4 appeared and disappeared. The planet below us turned into a giant computer with a dead guy trying to pilot it, and we had to replace him with somebody else. The fuck is going on? Does Sheridan even know about that? Because that was
Ooh.
Sinclair, and they made a report to
He might have
Earthdome.
been briefed on it.
Well, Earthdome knew about it because remember they sent the asshole guy.
When it comes up again, Sheridan's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" Oh yeah. Let me reiterate it for you. For the viewers that may not have seen the original
Right,
episode,
exactly.
Sheridan has to remain in the dark about it.
Yes. He continues to go all the way through how they were recalled back to Earth. But then
And then they disappeared.
he was like, but from that day on, she was never quite right
Never the
anymore.
same.
Quite right. And I wrote, that's the technical term. She was never quite right anymore. And then we cut to Dr. Franklin and Lyta because she wakes up and then she's like, fucking no. She jumps off of the thing, grabs a hypodermic needle and points it at Dr. Franklin
Mm-hmm.
and is like, yeah, sorry, dog. No thanks. Not going to happen. I want to see everybody in a group because you guys have been infiltrated by a traitor and I can prove it. She could have sent the password to
Right.
Dr. Franklin right then and there.
Well, but she didn't want to be in the room alone with the person when they
Oh.
got activated. That's why she was so adamant about not being in the room alone
With anyone.
with any one of them.
Got you. But she reveals to him in that moment that she knows there's a traitor. And then later she's like, the traitor personality is programmed for self-preservation. So the minute it knows that I'm here, it's going to try to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So effectively she did the same thing by just telling him that she knew there was a traitor.
Yeah, but
Although she's a telepath and she woke up to Dr. Franklin poking her with something. So I would also launch myself off the
she's
table.
probably familiar with Dr. Franklin's reputation.
She's like, hell no, I'm not going to your requisitioned cot. This isn't happening. I want to go see everybody. And then she does.
Yeah, I bet everybody in the Underground Railroad, who Lyta is now affiliated with,
Mhm.
talks about Dr. Franklin's reputation.
I mean, it's Dr. Franklin. They're like, oh yeah, that guy. Anyway, he hasn't done anything super sus in a while. I feel like we're having a hard time keeping up his nefarious
Yeah.
reputation. Since season 1, he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, he worked really hard in the last. He's trying to redeem himself, maybe.
Well, he did get us 2 stern talking tos.
He killed a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he murdered a child. So,
Yeah.
I mean, by way of religion, but also, yeah, that's got to be sobering.
He's gotten a couple wake up calls.
Yeah, you know, the Ikaran war machine, the murder of a child, which I think I've discussed a couple of times. You know, he's just had a couple of moments where he got humbled, and then he had to
Yeah.
watch his friend die.
And the Underground Railroad psych
Yeah,
episode.
that was a wild moment.
Yeah.
Why him? I do love that they're like, it could be Ivanova, and Ivanova's like, not me. Nah, dog. I don't do anything with I don't even help telepaths. I just avoid them entirely.
If I had my way, I'd shoot him on sight.
At least to keep them from being near me.
Yeah. So then we get Lyta with all the command staff.
Yeah, I mean, she immediately goes from there to being with the group of everybody because he's like, I want to see everybody. Lyta says, I want to see everybody. There's a traitor. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he sends up the bat signal. And then did they put the device back up?
The jamming device?
Yeah, the jamming device.
Probably.
Because if I was going to bug anywhere besides the men's bathroom, it would probably be
Sheridan's
I'd
office.
just drop one in a potted plant because, like,
Yeah.
they're everywhere. They could just be standing outside the window with binoculars because
And
he's
lip
got
reading.
a giant fucking window.
Right.
Have one of those like radar dish things from the 80s pointing it at his
Well,
window.
What you do in that situation is you can shoot a laser at the glass and then
Uh-huh.
have a lens that watches the laser. And then you can pick up the vibrations of the glass off of the laser beam and turn that into audio. Because it's the vibrations of the air hit the glass vibrates.
Oh, no, I grasped the concept. I
okay.
was just trying to decide why you knew that and in what context you learned it. That's all. I was just like, wait a minute. Even I didn't know that. And I have a pen that's also a recorder. that I named Spy Pen, and I definitely use it liberally for no particular reason. So anyway,
Investigative journalism.
I am an intrepid reporter sometimes. And she's like, what I'm about to tell you cost 2 good men their lives. Does that mean Derek died?
Maybe the guy that died had a partner that he went in with.
Maybe he says something about
There was
that.
a buddy system.
I don't know. 2 people died. That's all that matters. And it nearly cost me mine.
Many Bothans died for this information.
That's exactly what this is. Which Stephen King book is this? Is what I'm thinking. Is it Dreamcatcher, where there's the alien that's actually in their minds?
Ooh, impersonating them?
No, I think it's Dreamcatcher where it's the name. What is the name of the alien? It's not Duddits.
Duddits, yeah.
And it's actually in their heads to protect them when the evil aliens show up.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. I'd have to ponder this. Not that everything that he writes is a ripoff, but also sometimes it kind of is. It's kind of the inevitable. That's why I don't listen to other podcasts about the TV show we're covering when we're covering it, because it's inevitable that I don't necessarily remember where I acquired that information. And I'm going to present it like it's mine, and I'm actually just parroting what somebody else said. And so to avoid that, I simply don't read or don't watch or listen to other things about Babylon 5. But once we're done with this, I'm happy to recommend other ones, and I might go check them out to see if they're different than us. But in the meantime, I avoid them just because I don't want to take credit for a thing that's not my thing.
Yeah.
So it's not always intentional. Sometimes it's just like a byproduct of being a consumer, someone who consumes media, and we know JMS is a big reader.
Yeah.
So if he's reading a ton of Stephen King, it makes sense that his plots are going to be very Stephen King for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to sound like they're from Leave It to Beaver. I saw that criticism of Stephen King. They're like, why does everybody talk like that in his books? And I was like, oh, yeah, I heard. Yeah, it's definitely it.
Yeah.
But she goes, it's more important than you could possibly know. So I had to come back to warn you. This place is more important than you could possibly know. So I had to come warn you. And they're like, warn us about what? And she goes, okay, well, I'm sure Mr. Garibaldi has told you all about me. I was stationed here a while ago. I scanned Ambassador Kosh. I saw some shit in his mind. I mean, not anything more than what I told everybody, but there was also just this feeling. And they're like, what? And she's like, it's not something I can put into words.
I thought contempt for human beings as the ants that they are.
It's probably just, I want to go back to watching TV. I can't believe I'm so inconvenienced by this poison bullshit for 5 minutes here. I don't even have a hand. How did they get it on my hand? It was mystified. He was mystified at how he'd gotten poisoned when he doesn't have a hand. How did I have a hand? For 2 years I've been trying and I still can't do it. Why even tell anybody about the feeling? Just be like, I already reported everything I saw in there, but like, they wouldn't accept.
She can act more honest.
She can allude to the fact that there's more than she can say, but without actually being like, oh no, there's so much more than I can say.
The trouble is not admitting that there was something else.
Right.
It's articulating it in a way that you would actually convey it to you in a way you can understand.
She's like, finally, 6 months ago, I escaped the Psychor on a shuttle bound for Mars. And since that time, I've been trying to get to Vorlon's space. And Garibaldi's like, no, nobody goes to Vorlon's space. He's
Why
like,
the hell are you going to Vorlon's space?
Those who try don't come back. And she's like, I know.
I'm not like other girls.
I know. I'm special. I'm not like other girls. That's literally what she says. She goes, but ever since I touched Ambassador Kosh, I've been drawn there. And I'm going to make it, and they're going to let me in. I know it. Lyta is such a pick-me. She's such a pick-me, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get so much worse before it gets better. Oh, my God. Anyway. She's like, well, I was on Mars. I kind of got involved with this whole revolutionary moment. It was like a thing. Don't even ask me about it. But I had to pay my way. And, you know, they would pay me for my telepathic skills. So 7 days ago, 7 days ago. So it hasn't been 2 months.
Okay.
One of our best people was murdered and on his way back from an intelligence gathering information in Syria plane him. And this is when Garibaldi's like, reap, reap. Remember, that's where the super secret Psychor base is that I'm not supposed to know about. Just so the viewer can be like, oh,
Yeah.
right, that, yeah. And then she goes on an info dump. That is the only way I can describe this.
Yeah.
Where she explains the concept of a sleeper program.
Right.
She's like, they drug them. They deep scan them. They implant a new personality.
The Manchurian Candidate.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it was a book. One of the old, like, very
I've heard
male
of it.
spy thriller
Yes.
books.
Yeah, that's why.
And it was basically I think it was the Chinese, like, psychologically conditioned somebody and gave them, like, a hidden personality to be triggered activation later, but their regular personality was like perfect to be elected president of the U.S.
Oh, okay.
And then the idea was
interesting.
After they got elected, they activate them.
Okay. This also happens in Dune, except we didn't need a dwarf, little person, dwarf, Frank Herbert's words, to sing a special song to the reincarnated body of Duncan Idaho.
Yeah.
To convince him to kill Paul Atreides. Anyway, this is not like I get it. I get why she has this info dump, but I think if
it's a pattern.
Anybody who's consumed any amount of spy or sci-fi media, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Heard sleeper program, got it. It's, submerged in their subconscious, watching, listening, spying until the day the password is sent telepathically. And I guess somebody asked JMS what the password is. And he was like, I jokingly want to say Zahadum, but that's not it.
I figured it has to be either really long.
Yeah.
Or it's not words.
Right. That's what my feeling is it's probably not words.
Like the password in the TARDIS. Do you remember that? One of the parts of the password is petrichor.
Oh, yeah.
The
Just
smell of dirt after rain.
Yeah.
And like she has to
remember
that scent and send it to the TARDIS as part of the password.
Sorry, but if that was post David Tennant, I've blocked that all out.
I think that was right at the end.
I think that's a Matt Smith episode.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Because I think that's Amy.
Amy
and she
Pond.
keeps seeing petrichor everywhere. And she's like, oh, right. It's like, okay. Anyway, where was I going with any of what I was just saying? Oh, yeah, the sleeper program. I don't know. You got me distracted. I was like, David Tennant. And then I was like, I should watch Doctor Who again. A whole train of thought happened. And now I have to try to remember who I am and what I was doing. We're talking about Babylon 5. And she's basically like, the most important and relevant thing here is that the sleeper can take over and it destroys the personality of the person.
Yeah.
Permanently. Oh, the password. That's what I was thinking about. That the password could be anything. It doesn't have to be anything verbal. It could just be like a series of sensations or words.
Right.
Oh, and this is more fully fleshed out, apparently, in the comics.
The sleeper program?
Everything about Talia and this whole moment that is happening right now. So in the comics, they talk more about Talia and how Talia got her secret personality. And they do a lot more with this plot line than is shown in the TV. Which just reiterates the fact that we need to find the comics and read them. And maybe that'll be the tail end of what we do for this podcast.
Yeah.
And they're like, our guess is that it's literally someone close to the command staff or maybe even in the command staff, since it has to be able to get vital information. And its code name is Control.
Control.
Which I kind of wish we had peppered in Control more than like
just the one time.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I'd be like, oh, shit, is that what Control is? Instead of being like, wait a minute, have we talked about Control before? And And apparently control is referred to as he in that episode. And so someone was like, I thought control was a he. And he was like, oh, they just use the generic he for anybody. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Kind of like how people say dude is gender neutral.
Yeah.
But girl is not gender neutral. Have you seen the like push for using feminized words as the neutral? So like, oh, girl instead of oh, dude. Anyway. Then Ivanova is like, I'm sorry, do you expect us to believe this? I mean, how do we know you're not just making this all up? And she's like, because I have the password, which is not a proof, by the way. It's just not proof. Oh, because I know a secret code word. Oh, okay, great. I know several secret code words. They're only secret because they don't mean anything and I just made them up. So yeah, sure, okay. She's like, Captain, I realize you don't know me and you've got no reason to trust me, but I can prove what I've just said. With your permission, I can send the password one staff member at a time. I won't read anybody. I won't scan anybody. I'll literally just send them the password. And he's like, And I understand his reticence because she's gone through this whole thing about like the telepaths can create sleepers. It's this whole big thing, but she doesn't really give you the timeline of how long it takes to create a sleeper agent. So what if she's literally sending
she's actually programming
whole
them
package all at once, and he's giving her access to everyone in his command staff. The implications of what she could do, and the fact that he allows her to touch the mind of literally everyone.
On top of that, she's operating completely outside of Psy-Corps oversight.
Yes.
So, like with Talia, there's a little bit of reasonable expectation that she's going to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Because she's operating in the open as a member of Psy-Corps.
Correct.
But Lyta is on the run.
Yeah.
She's not beholden to...
And we know even when she was beholden to Psy-Corps, she was willing to bend the rules because she scanned Kosh.
Right.
And then even Garibaldi was like, yeah, and it fucked with her head. And then she's like, I kind of want to scan literally everyone in the command staff. And he's like, I mean, okay. You know what? Yeah. Like, what's the harm? The big harm. There could be big harm. Huge harm. Huge. You don't know what she's trained with. You don't know if she is acting with Psy-Corps. And this is Bester's way of getting like some sort of small mind probe into literally everyone on the station.
Yeah.
And they touch not like the 5,000 support personnel, which he loves a good 5,000. He was like, you know how many there should be? I think there should be 5,000. Anyway, it's just, I can see why contemporary people were like, this is a little bit heavy handed. I don't know why this is more highly rated than the previous episode. Who was like 10 out of 10, y'all. 10 out of 10. I love the good spy thriller.
Oh, and you could justify it by saying he had a short timeline in order to swap out Talia, the Talia character.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that. But they didn't know that. I'm talking about contemporarily. You didn't know this was all because Andrea was leaving.
Yeah.
This was just like, it felt like a good, just like a hammer whack episode. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a human. Anybody they could get to Mars could have a sleeper personality.
Right.
Any of the ambassadors. Well, it would depend if an alien mind can't be manipulated in the same way.
Right.
But anyway, it's fine. It doesn't matter. They're like, she goes, the farther from the command staff, the less likely it is. You know who I'd infiltrate? The janitorial staff.
IT admins.
Exactly. They're literally like, those people. Who gives a shit? They're fine. And they're like, no, it's definitely the security guard who stands outside of Brown 2. That's the guy we need to scan, and not the janitor who was in here sweeping while we were discussing the fact that we need to scan everybody. Like, oh my God. Anyway, it's fine. He had a very brief moment. He had one episode. He had to pivot and move on.
Yeah.
And it does feel like it's a pivot and move on episode.
Yeah.
Notable mostly because we finally get a moment with Talia and Ivanova, which we've been building to for a while. And I'm glad he included it, even as obliquely as it's included. It's 1995. This was the best he could do, honestly. So he's like, okay, I'm going to discuss it with my group here, and then we'll get back to you to decide if that's the thing we want to do. And she's like, okay, but like, don't take too long, Captain, because it's going to try to kill me. He's like, oh, okay, fine. And then she leaves. She exits. After Garibaldi is like, if you don't mind, I'll have a security guard. No, 2 security guards take you to a holding cell until we decide what to do with this.
Mm.
And then they walk in, they're like, yes, sir. And he's like, take her to holding. And they're like, yes, sir. And they take her to a room that doesn't have a bed, just a table. Because that's why they have to move her.
Right.
So he just says a holding cell. Wouldn't you take her to a comfortable one? She's not a criminal. She just needs to be protected. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Because then we move on to Sheridan looking around and going, okay, comments, anyone? And Ivanova goes, does the phrase no way in hell ring a bell? And then we leave. We cut. And it's Delenn and Sheridan because he's pacing back and forth in the garden. The rock garden that used to be ambassadors only, and now it's a tourist attraction. I wonder if they started charging tickets, and that's how they're making up the difference in revenue.
Or they used to charge for tickets, and then they realized it was detrimental to the
overall morale or whatever. Yeah. And they put it on the free. Maybe you buy, here you can buy a ticket to like 4 or 5 different attractions as one package. Mm-hmm. Maybe they started offering it as part of a package. Yeah.
To sell more of the annual subscriptions.
Yeah. And this is when Delenn shows up and she just does a little plink. Remember how we said we would help the Narn by delivering food and helping out refugees? And we used to be completely overrun with Narn, and like that stopped happening. Because remember, there was a whole episode where they were like, there's so many dead Narn, we don't know what to do with all of them. And then they were like, anyway, that was yesterday's problem. We're not going to worry about it anymore. Well, it's just Delenn going, where are we on our food shipments? Do you have time to talk about it? And he's like, I mean, yeah, but like, just let me know when. And Delenn's like, cool, but like, are you all right? And he's like, no, I'm fine. No, I'm not fine. It's the yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no. That's exactly what he says. Okay, for those who don't speak Midwest, yeah, no, yeah is yes. And then no, yeah, no is actually no. So he goes, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no is what he says. And she says, do you wish to talk about it? And he's like, no. But then he talks about it anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of. He talks about how bothered he is. He's like, why is it every time you feel like you finally got a handle on thing, life decides to kick you in the butt? And she goes, but what? And he goes, what? And she goes, you said that life decides to kick you, but... And he's like, no, it's a part of the body. It's a
saying.
Wow, you have the damnedest gaps in your vocabulary, is what he says. Like, I'm going to have to explain to the ambassador from Minbari that I'm talking about my ass. Okay, great. This is exactly what I wanted to do. I don't even know if they shit out of that.
Honestly, I don't think he's that reticent to talk to Delenn about his ass.
I think in the context that you are implying, no. But as I'm officially on duty, you're officially on duty. Right. The moment for the discussion about my booty is not right now. Okay. Right. Yes, I would. Yes, I like my little tight pants. Yes, but we're not going to talk about it. And this whole section, while being incredibly funny, and I'll put this as our opening quote. So you've already just heard it. Is so indicative of JMS's humor. Yeah. Where every once in a while he's like, but joke. So he's capable of writing, like Jakar gets some speeches that are like, I mean, they don't just hold up today. They are still some of the best written dialogue in television. Yeah. And he can do that. He can soar the highest heights. But then when he has to write a joke, it's the Ivanova sex scene. And but I got her to say but. I got her to say but because she goes but. And he's like, oh, you sound like a motorboat. She goes, motor butt? I don't think I like the sound of that. And she goes, He goes, I don't blame you. I'm against the whole idea. Then we are in agreement. Abso-fragging-lutely. There, you see? What? Something has gone your way today. She's like, see, I made you laugh. But. And then she says, it's the way the universe works. Wait just a little, and the wheel turns. And then she
Minbari wisdom showing through.
Puts her hand on his hand, and they both look down like, oh no, did we just have sex again? Oh my God. Twice in 1 week? Ah! And then he gets a call at just the wrong moment. Coitus interruptus. That's what Garibaldi cock blocks him is what he does.
Com blocks him.
Because he's like, hey, I finished that background check you wanted. And he's like, okay, I'll be right back. I'll be right there. And then she's like, okay, good day. And he goes, good day, Ambassador. And she just goes, okay. And then she does this little like,
she just prances away.
A little girly run. Oh my God, it's so cute. She's just like, ah! Mira Furlan does not frolic, okay?
No.
Mira Furlan does not frolic. And she frolics for this. She did that for you. Nothing about Mira Furlan. I wish I had more. I wish she existed. Sorry to say, she's passed.
Yeah.
So I wish there was a moment where Mira Furlan overlapped with like a social media. I want her to be like Werner Herzog's Instagram, where Werner Herzog is like frying a steak on a hot pan on a fire and pontificating about the universe on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, like that's what I want Mira Furlan to be like. I don't know what she was like in real life, but I can build that up in my head because it harms no one and she's passed away. So this is when we go back and it is Garibaldi and he's like, I checked out her story as far as I could without like flagging anything. And contacts inside the Underground Railroad confirm that they helped her get off Earth. So that much tracks. And he's like, okay, but like, unless she's a plant. I love how we keep raising these objections. And then they're like, well,
they
anyway.
immediately dismiss
They're
them.
like, oh, well, anyway. And then later, they're like, oh, shit, this is going to compromise the Underground Railroad. But we already know that the Underground Railroad no longer goes through Babylon 5.
Right.
It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's okay. He's like, she could have just been sent to cause exactly this kind of problem. And he's like, maybe, but not likely. And this is when Sheridan is finally like, Michael, you don't know shit about her. You knew her for 6 weeks. And he's like, yeah, but they were a really hard 6 weeks, okay? Like, it was a big 6 weeks. We went through a lot together. It's just a gut feeling. Everything in me says she's telling the truth.
Okay, so I've been reading this book series, and at the very beginning, the main character doesn't really have any, he hasn't developed any abilities or anything, except for one thing, which is he can tell when people are lying.
Okay.
He either gets a headache or he sees black smoke coming out of their mouth.
Okay.
Or both. But it's like consistent throughout the whole series that he always knows when people are lying to him.
Yeah.
And like the intensity of what he feels is proportional to how severe and intentional the lie is. I wonder if Garibaldi is like a latent telepath where the only thing he really can do is pick up on how truthful people are being.
He is probably like do you remember that television show? I forget what it was called, but he was like an expert at micro expressions.
Oh, yes, Dr. Lightman.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah. I just remember they recruited that one lady because she was really good at it, but only because she was like abused as a child. And so she was really good at picking up shifts in people's emotions because she needed it for survival.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, I know you're going to look it up. You look it up while I keep talking about this. And I'm wondering if that's not Garibaldi. Because Garibaldi has gone through so much and he has had such a hard life up to this point. If he's just gotten very, very good.
Lie to me.
Lie to me. That's what it was called. I wonder if he's just really, really good at picking all that shit up. Not only does he do it professionally, and he may have had some amount of training in regard to it, but also he's just the kind of guy who's gone through enough shit that he's learned to be vigilant.
Yeah.
And so when he
was a battle-hardened 19-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, he started He started his career when he was like 9. So he's been at this for a while. And so he would just,
he had the knack for it.
He may just have the knack, capital T, capital K, to just know when people are lying or not lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want, knack starts with a K.
Right. Oh, I got thrown off by the capital T.
Yeah. The knack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You're
figured it out.
it doesn't start with a T.
I figured it out. Knack doesn't have a T in it.
All right, fine.
I got it.
Yeah, thanks. You were about to mansplain knack to me. You were like, knack is spelled with a K. K-N-A-C-K. Yeah, but it has a the in front of it, or it's not the knack. He goes, okay, what about your second who shot you in the back on New Year's Eve? I love how this is the plot that goes nowhere. Because he's like, what about that guy that shot you? She wouldn't know about him. And he's like, oh, that's possible.
And they don't bring it up to Lyta.
No, not at all. They're like,
hey, we actually had a guy who was working with Psychor on a plot.
Yeah, because he even does the Bester, see you later with the fingers. And they're all like, well, it could have been him. And then they're like, well, anyway, let's never bring that up ever again in this entire episode.
Could that have been the person that you're thinking that you heard about?
Yeah.
Maybe they've already used the password.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never mentioned it to Lyta.
No. They're like, okay, well, that was they just bring it up so that viewers won't bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're like, okay, well, have you talked to Ivanova about this? And he's like, no, she's still on a rampage. You know how she is about letting any telepaths near her. And they're all like, tee-hee, ha-ha, tee-hee. Like, that isn't the biggest red flag in the universe. I mean, looking back as a viewer who's seen this episode and who've moved forward in the series, we know it's because she's a latent telepath. That she doesn't like telepaths mucking around in her head because she is trying to hide her own identity.
Right.
And we know that. But as a contemporary viewer watching this, it's like, reap, reap, reap. Oh, Ivanova has never, ever, ever wanted a telepath to scan her, ever.
In fact, she was ready to quit.
Yeah, she was willing to quit her job before letting a telepath scan her. Tee-hee, ha-ha, Ivanova's so emotional.
Now it makes sense.
Right, now you're like, oh, that's the hugest red flag, but only to the viewer. Everyone else is acting like, oh, Ivanova's just being Ivanova again. Ivanova was willing to do literally anything to keep a telepath out of her head. And they're all like, oh, well, that's just her. She'll get over it, is what he says. And then we go to Talia and Ivanova, because Ivanova is opening all the cabinets and slamming them.
Yeah.
I love this for her, because Talia comes out and she's like, that's one cabinet that will never threaten us again. She's like, I'm sorry. It's just been one of those days. Did you like your shower? And she's like, oh my God, yes. I have not had a hot water shower in ages. And then she's like, okay, you want some tea? And then only makes her tea and then takes her the tea and then stands awkwardly behind her while Talia talks to her and is like,
she's just enjoying the view.
Because she's like, did you ever know a telepath named Lyta? And she's like, oh yeah. But you do know all telepaths don't just know each other, right? Like, I mean, there's not many of us, but anyway, she's like, she's a year behind me in the academy. I don't know. We spent like 6 months together working for different things, like trying it out, seeing what we want to do with our lives. And, yeah, I guess that's all. She's like, okay, do you think she's someone you could trust? And she's like, I mean, I guess. It was a long time ago. She was nice. We were kind of close, but like, not now. People can change.
Not as close as me and you.
She goes, but Lyta? No, I don't see her changing. And then she said she was interned with the Psychops, but we know Psychops are minimum P10, right? No, P11, P10 for professors, P11 or P12 and up for Psychops.
Yeah, I think so.
They're like the strongest in the Psy Corps, but we know Lyta and Talia are both P5.
Maybe it was before she had like reached her full strength.
Oh, well, I don't know.
And maybe Psychops have like a
lower
tier. Yeah, support staff.
The traffic stop Psychops. Sir, do you know what you did? Nope. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. God damn it. I hate that they made so. Can you imagine if cops were telepaths? Jesus Christ, I would also flee. I'd also flee. Actually, you're the only one who ever gets pulled over. So you're the only one who would know. I think I've been pulled over once and I had an expired license plate. And the guy was like, did you know it was expired? And I was like, no, I just bought this car. I literally just bought the car. But they took the license plate off my old car and put it on my new one, which is the only time in my life that's ever happened. And it was only good for like a month after that. But I thought it started over because I just bought a car. It's fine. It doesn't matter. That's the only time I've been pulled over. You get pulled over like
Once a year.
all the time for stupid shit too, which is what's always really funny. Anyway, maybe he forgot that Cyclops had like a minimum. Maybe there are traffic. I mean, there's got to be like.
So you would have people
maybe it's
as
like
part
petty
of the
financial crime. Guys.
No, I was thinking more like within the organization of Cyclops.
Yeah.
You need to have people who are part of the Cyclops organization.
Who are not
but
Cyclops.
They're not Cyclops. They don't go out into the field and do
Right.
Cyclops shit. They answer the phone for the Cyclops.
Okay, so there'd be a Cyclops secretary.
Cyclops secretary, Cyclops, I don't know, records keeper, Cyclops, I don't know, like initial screening, whatever.
Okay.
Like investigator, digital forensics.
Okay. She goes, but she became, moving on, she became a commercial teep like me. And then she's like, you wouldn't know this, but teeps are telepaths and teeks are telekinetics. And Susan looks like, I think I could put those pieces together. Like they're not. It's like you thought the puzzle was big, but there were just two pieces in the puzzle. Like it's not. Okay, thanks for that. And then she goes, what's wrong, Susan? And she's like, damn it, Talia, I don't know who I can trust. She channels her own inner noir Ivanova.
Yeah.
And this is when Talia gets up and she's like, I felt the same way recently, but I've come to the decision that there's only one person on the station I can trust implicitly. You. And then they bang.
Shh.
They definitely bang.
Do you ship them?
Somewhere out there is a fan fiction you can probably find.
Oh, probably dozens.
Do I ship them? No, because I know what happens to Talia.
Okay.
But I ship Ivanova being happy.
Yeah.
That's what I ship. And you know what Ivanova never, ever gets? Happiness. Not even for a moment. So anyway, moving on. Then we get to Garibaldi and Zach. And this is the part where he's like, hey, can you move Lyta from room 1 to room 2? He's like, oh, okay, sure. There's a decent bed in there. She could be with us for a while. Go ahead and move her. And he's like, okay. And this is the boop, 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 boop. Remember the night watch thing? Because Garibaldi's like, are you still wearing the stupid night watch thing? And he's like, hell yeah.
They're still fucking paying me.
They're still fucking paying me, so I'm still fucking wearing it. I'm not doing what they asked me to do. I'm just taking their money, which is key. Okay?
Yeah.
I'd probably also do that. Because the more money they're giving out to people who aren't doing the job, the less money they have for the people who will do the job.
Right.
Unless they're just printing the money because they are the government. He goes,
Right.
as long as the Ministry of Peace is going to keep paying me to wear these things, I'm going to keep wearing them. And this is when they go to get Talia because she's just sitting at this table and they're like, hey, we're going to move you to a new room. And she's like, okay. Lyta. Why did I write Talia? I don't know. It's fine. Doesn't really matter. Oh, because Talia rolls over here and notices Ivanova is missing. There's no dialogue in that scene. She rolls over and she's like, doot, doot. Where did she go? Why is she not on the purple satin fuck sheets?
Yeah.
Do. And then we go to Lyta getting moved. And they're like, Lyta, we're moving you. And she goes, aye, aye, Captain. And they walk out and pew, 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 pew. They die and Lyta fucks off. And that's the end of that scene.
Yep.
That is the Cliff Notes version. And then we come back to Sheridan and Garibaldi and Ivanova. And there's just one moment here where we see Lyta running away. And she's like leaning against this wall. And I want to know, why is Babylon 5 moldy?
What do you mean?
The wall is moldy behind her. It's like, I know they're going for texture, but it looks like mold texture. Like we've got moisture buildup in certain areas and it's growing as mold.
It would have looked better on a CRT.
Would it have looked less like mold? Because it looks straight up like mold. And I was like, why is it moldy? You have filtered air. You can't even filter out mold spores?
They don't filter.
This
the air
is an
is
even
recycled.
greater implication where if you literally can't control the spread of mold on the station because you don't have filtered air, can you imagine? everything you left out would be contaminated. If you were even
Yeah.
mildly irritated by mold,
Yeah.
this would be a horrifying place to live, because anywhere not the Zocalo and not the CNC is grunge textured. And this is partly 90s. This was like grunge had a moment in the 90s where we were like, that was their version of grimdark. They were like, you can tell it's sort of dystopian because it's not clean. That was the worst thing they could possibly imagine. Okay. They were like,
oh, the surfaces are sticky.
yeah. You know what a dystopian future is? Only leather, only mesh, and everything is sticky and nobody can get a good haircut. Like, that's the worst thing that could possibly happen to us.
Yeah.
Is you touch something and there's shit on your finger when you pull your finger back. No, my God, this is a horrifying dystopia. Anyway, then we come back and it is, this is when it's Sheridan, Garibaldi, and Ivanova, and they're just breaking it down. They're like, did someone get shot? Aye, aye, somebody got shot with a PPG and it hurt them. And now they're at the doctor. Like, there's a lot of chunks of this that are fine, but they're also like, we could have broad stroked this and then had more meaningful conversation. We could have come back to the guy that shot Garibaldi instead of literally dedicating probably 2.5 to 3 minutes of a 48-minute run to describing what just happened to the guards, which we just saw what happened. They could just be like, are they okay? Yeah, one's in med lab, but the other died.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're like, who knew she was there? Like, who could have betrayed us? Because we saw a hand shoot.
Right.
Only Garibaldi knew, Franklin, you, me. So, like, who could it be? And Ivanova looks so sad. She's like, I don't know. And I have to wonder if she's thinking,
I told Talia.
did I tell Talia? Did I tell Talia? It's a better episode if Ivanova is like, oh shit, it could be Talia. Instead of it being so completely out of the blue for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, I don't know, neither do I. That's what's bothering me. Lyta said this artificial personality was programmed to defend itself. If that's true, then whoever tried to kill her probably doesn't remember. And we're still trying to set up Ivanova as the bad guy.
Right.
Because Talia woke up and Ivanova was gone. And then we got Lyta getting shot.
Yeah.
And I forgot how heavy-handed he was like, maybe it's Ivanova the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find her, and then we're going to figure this shit out. With this incident, I'm leaning towards letting her perform the telepathic probe. And Ivanova's like, listen, I would not submit to a scan to prove my loyalty last year, and I'm not going to do one now. And he's like, oh, no, this isn't going to be the same. She's just going to be like, boo, sending you a password.
Yeah, supposedly.
Sending you an email. And he's like, she goes, no, I'm not going to do it. And he's like, look, Susan, I know how you feel, but if someone has been compromised, we need to know that. Our lives, our careers are on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Sheridan's like, okay, so now that we know we can trust each other, we have to know we can trust each other or we'll be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Just good way to put it, I guess. He's like, we can't do that when this is hanging over our heads. The only way you can be sure is just let her do her thing. And then we cut to Delenn, and Delenn is writing up a message to the Lumati.
Species?
Oh my God. Are the Lumati the ones that were like douchebags? Where they wouldn't talk to people they thought were inferior?
Oh, that might have been
And I kept calling them the Illuminati, and it was the guy from the Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah.
I think that's them. Where they wanted to open trade relations with her, and she's like, I mean, I just don't think that's like a great moment for us right now to do that. Especially if to open trade relations, they have to have sex. Because it's a little bit weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then Lyta pops up on her screen and she's like, oh my God, Lyta Alexander, you were here 2 years ago.
I remember you.
I remember you.
I'm really good with faces.
I'm establishing context. She goes, can you meet me in Brown 3 in like an hour? And she's like, yeah, okay, no problem. Sure. I'll come to the murder sector and meet you for the secret rendezvous alone. It's gonna be fine. It is fine, but also this is like, I guess this is so heavy-handed. I mean, I feel like this is probably going to be one of our shortest episodes because honestly, what happens?
Right.
A bunch of very weird, no one would ever actually, Delenn would send Lanier. She'd be like, actually, can my aide go? I don't go to the murder sector. And this is when Talia and Ivanova pop back up together because Talia was like, hey, they fixed my house. I was going to come get my shit. This might be where there's a bit of a time gap because we don't know how long Lyta's missing for.
Yeah.
Like, time could have passed in here. And that would give us a reason for Talia to have been there. Except she's like, where were you last night?
Right.
So I don't know. It's weird. Maybe they were just like somewhere in between October and December.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Ivanova's upset, which is what really matters here. And Talia's like, hey, babe, you want to talk about it? We could talk about it like we talked last night. I'm very good at talking, remember? She goes, not now, like maybe later. And Talia's like, well, where were you last night? She just goes, I needed some air. Things are changing quickly. I don't think there's anything anyone can do for me. I've hidden shit for so long. It's weird now.
Right. And she's wrestling with the idea of telling somebody that she's a latent telepath.
And I get it. So I'm in a group chat. This feels incredibly relevant. Like, I feel like my tribulations are equal to Ivanova's. So I'm gonna state this out loud for the record. I'm in a group chat. I got put in this group chat like 2+ years ago. And it is a group of ladies, older Black ladies from a Zionist church somewhere in the South. And they added me to this group chat. And I immediately messaged and was like, hey, y'all, I'm not in your group. Can you please take me out? Like, I don't want to be privy to your conversation. I don't want to be in your group chat. I'm not going to spy on you guys for no reason. And they were like, no, Tawanda, we're not giving up on you. And I was like, no, I'm not Tawanda. Like, can you please remove me? I don't know if my number is similar to Tawanda's or what. But they were like, quit playing, Tawanda. Seriously, we're not giving up on you. And you know what I got to admit? They've never given up on me.
They've never given up on Tawanda.
No. They eventually asked everybody in the group chat to sound off so they could figure out what numbers were whose. And I didn't respond. And so for a brief period of time, I wasn't on the group chat anymore. I think I got removed. And then they started another one called the Zionist Church Ladies Group 2 and added me to that one. And I got into that one. And then they called me directly to ask.
One of the ladies
did. And they were like, Tawanda, we wanted to check on you. And I was like, I'm not Tawanda. But like, I've been in it. So anyway, I'm in the third group now. They had a Zionist Church Ladies new group. And I'm in that one too.
Yeah.
And I know you're all wondering, it's been 2 years. How come you don't just tell them again? And I want to point out that it's been so long now. It's weird. It's weird. I get it. I would have to be like, I have been deliberately ignoring your conversations for 2 years. Like they've posted pictures of themselves. I have all of their email addresses. It is a very busy group chat of a bunch of ladies who all love each other and go through a lot of struggles together. Like the Great Church Convention of 2020, where they all forgot yellow flowers for their hats and they had to find a wig shop that sold yellow flowers. I've been with them through so much, but also I can't, like, I would have to send a selfie that was like, I'm not Tawanda, because they don't believe me when I say I'm not Tawanda, and it's been too long. It would make it weird. So that's what she's saying. She's like, I've lied for so long that now that I'm going to tell them the truth, it's going to be so much worse than if I had just been upfront with it. Yeah. And this whole setup is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because Ivanova has finally found someone who she can't really fully confide in yet.
Right.
But who you can see them being together and being like meaningful for each other in the future. And it's knowing this is all going to go away. Because she goes, how am I supposed to look them in the eyes again? And you know she's talking about being a telepath. But it's also kind of about like, I'm actually the spy. And they're going to be so mad at me. They're just going to be really mad at me. And Talia's like, there is nothing you could say that would be so terrible that they would turn you away. And Ivanova's like, I don't know. This one is a real doozy, is what she says. And Talia goes, maybe, but for what it's worth, I'm here for you if you need me. Aw, and I think those might be the last words she says to her.
As Talia.
Yeah. Because then we cut to Delenn and Sheridan. And Delenn's like, hi, I'm wrapping up my context, because she just delivers Lyta.
Yeah.
I actually, she talks to her. She hasn't delivered Lyta yet. This is the moment where she's like,
She
hey,
tells
Captain, I
Sheridan.
need to talk to you. And he's like, I'm in a hurry. And she's like, great, so am I.
Lyta wants to meet with all of you, but only all of you. Nobody alone.
Yeah, and he's like, cool, where is she? And she's like, I'm not going to tell you that shit. She asked me not to. And as we all know, I don't lie. So I can't tell you. But she gave me a message to give to you. She'll come back if you're all there.
And he says, okay, whenever she wants.
Yeah, no problem. And then he goes home, which is apparently where he was rushing off to. I'm in a hurry to get to maybe he had to poop. And he's
and Ivanova's waiting for
what's
him.
the German word for someone who can only poop at home?
Homescheiser.
A homescheiser. He has to get home. He's like, listen, this is an emergency situation. I've had so much coffee today.
I can only poop in my
I
own
have
room.
to go home. Garibaldi might be waiting to have a meeting in the bathroom over there. I can't go. I can't go. But he walks in and Ivanova's like, hello. It's like, God damn it, I really have to poop.
Okay, so this lets us know they don't just have like an electronic key
Yeah,
to
they
get
also
into the
have
room.
a code.
There's codes,
I wonder if it's in case you forget your card. You can also put in a code.
probably.
Because she's like, you should change your lock code more often.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's like you have your card, but you can give your code out to other people.
Or like for the like two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
You have your backup codes, your recovery codes, in case you lose your two-factor authentication
I mean,
device.
it would make more sense for especially like his quarters to have card and code because someone could just pickpocket his card
Right.
and get into his room.
Yeah.
And he might not even notice soon enough to stop him. And we know literally anyone can get into any sector at any moment whenever because Garibaldi moves freely throughout remember the episode where he's
Oh, yeah.
on the run and he just goes wherever he wants to go. So there's like Jeffrey's tubes that get the people anywhere. So it's fine. Anyway.
Well, if you're doing hacking, you're trying to hack
Okay.
into somebody's machine.
I can hack it.
All right. The first thing you do when you get into somebody else's system is you install a way for you to get in again
Yeah, a back
easier.
door. Yeah.
So as Garibaldi, as paranoid head of security, he probably has secondary ways to get around locks and things just in case.
He has to go on the run in his own station by a woman who will
just-
eventually murder someone.
I mean, specific, but
Mhm.
okay, what if he needed to help somebody get around as part of a legitimate thing that needs to happen without them being picked up by the security systems?
I would want total freedom of movement in my station without being able to be
Yeah, and so
tracked.
Garibaldi probably has a whole secondary set of credentials, probably tertiary too,
Yeah. Garibaldi
to
doesn't
get around the
credit
station
for how terrifying he probably
if his
is.
primary credentials are compromised.
Right. But
Yeah.
yes, there's a lock code. Either there's a lock code or he forgot there were cards. Whichever one. And the notable thing here is Sheridan isn't like, the fuck are you doing? He's just like, oh, babe, you okay? What's going on?
You wouldn't have broken into my room if it was not important.
Yeah. And she just goes, I'm sorry. I thought I was ready for this. And he's like, ready for what? And she's like, I can't have Lyta in my mind ever. And he's like, I get it. And she's like, no. Shh. You don't get it. You can't because I actually haven't told you everything. And that is that not
I'm
only-
breaking the law.
Remember how telepathy is genetic?
And my mom was a telepath?
Is there not a genetic test for
Probably
telepathy?
not.
Maybe you can have it but not have it expressed.
Yeah.
So, but then you could track.
It's probably a predisposition or a carrier.
Yeah, because then you could track family lines that tend to produce.
And
I don't
set
know
up-
why they're not
set up
full.
a breeding
I was
program.
gonna say, I
to
don't know why
bring
they're not
about
full
the-
Bene Gesserit with us, where they're like trying to create Kwisatz
they
Hotter
are.
Cop. One who can
They
be many
are, though.
places
'Cause
at
they
once.
set up breeding pairs in Psychor.
Right, but not like, you know, her mom is telepathic.
Mhm.
We don't know anything about the rest of her family. We don't know
Right.
if her mother was the first telepath in her family line because we don't know how telepathy develops.
Right.
We know it tends to follow family lines
Hmm.
because we know they breed to try to create telepaths. So clearly
Right.
there's a genetic link. But we don't know if it also can spontaneously develop within family lines.
Hmm.
I'm just wondering why nobody was like, hey, has anyone checked to see if that chick is telepathic?
Oh, well, she says that her mom told her how to
How to-
fool the tests.
Right, but then
So
she's
they
terrified of any telepath ever touching her mind ever, even though she knows how to fake the tests. She can fake the exam, but she can't fake a casual scan.
She has probably never been scanned, like deep scanned.
Maybe that's not what the tests do.
Yeah, the tests probably just evaluate your potential. And if she
Anyway.
was able to control it enough to keep it all hidden.
Yeah, the revelation here is just every once in a while, I was the one who touched her mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, yeah, I'm a latent telepath.
I'm breaking the law.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like a correspondence course she could like download illegally and then be like, can I train this a little bit? I mean, I know it's a small skill, but you think
Right.
you would want to use it if for no other reason than to be able to hide it.
Right.
He's like, Susan, why didn't you tell me this before? And he's like, it's got nothing to do with trust, which is true.
Yeah.
Because you know you keep a secret is you only have one person who knows it. If
Right.
two people know it, one of them better be dead or it's not a secret anymore. She's like, you were literally just my commanding officer. Why would I have told you I was a latent telepath? What? Look, there isn't
Right?
a world
This is
where
why
that's
I have never told an employer that I've been diagnosed with ADHD.
right. They don't need to know.
Right.
And you don't know what that knowledge does.
Right.
Like you don't know where it goes. You don't know who you can trust with it.
Right.
You don't know if you will then be judged. All of your actions will. This is going to change the way that he perceives her forever,
Oh yeah.
and she knows it.
Yeah.
So she's like, I mean, it's not something I can just change overnight. I've hidden this my entire life, and it's really hard telling you now. And he's like, you know what? You're right, and I'm sorry. And she goes, my mother drilled 3 words into my head, which was tell no one. And her mom stayed hidden until she was like in her 30s.
Yeah.
So she goes, she taught me how to fool the test given at school, always staying one step ahead of the psychor. I'm probably not even a P1. And I've never been able to read anyone except my mother. I can pick up on feelings sometimes. I can block a casual scan. And I know instantly if somebody's doing it, but nothing more. But that's enough for psychor.
Mm-hmm.
They would have something for me to do. Probably breed.
Probably.
And she goes, I can't. Like, I can't let her touch my mind. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay, but like Lyta isn't with the psychor. She's on the run. And she goes, yeah,
That
that's
doesn't help.
worse. That's kind of worse, actually.
You see how that's worse though, right?
She's like, how can you be sure? And he goes, well, I can't, but Garibaldi believes her. And she's like, Garibaldi didn't believe anyone. And then she goes,
okay.
And he goes, yeah, exactly. He goes, I know how hard this must have been for you to tell me. So let me think about it and we can work it out. And the way he works it out is by singling her out and not letting Lyta scan her.
Yeah.
Which is the most sus way he could have done it. And then he's like, she goes, some days I don't even know who I am anymore. And then he's like, and he sees the picture.
Red flag.
He sees the vision of, do you know who I am? And it's from the dream. And she's like, woohoo, Captain, woohoo. We haven't gotten to do a flashback in so long.
Yeah.
Man, that was a staple in our Forever Night days where he would just be talking to someone and then
Yeah. Just look off into the
off to
distance.
He's like, wow, I just remembered this dream I had a couple years ago or a couple months ago where, I don't know, maybe it foreshadowed the fact that you're the sleeper agent. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Anyway, then he gets a call. And it's a message from Delenn. Now. And so this is the where we transition to them doing the actual scanning. All the lead up of this whole yes. And then he's like, okay, I'll just troop people through here and then you just laser beam eyes them. We'll just make sure everybody's A-okay. Got it? And this is the part where he scans Sheridan. She sends the password to Sheridan. She's like,
Yeah.
you're clean, you're good. She sends the password to Dr. Franklin, and she's like, all right, you're good. And then she sends it to Garibaldi.
Okay. I do like how Garibaldi is like, I'm actually entertaining the idea that I could be the sleeper agent.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take my gun
and
put it out of reach.
Yeah. Garibaldi doesn't get credit for how good of a character he is.
Right? And then
he does his like, and they're all like, oh no. And then he goes, boo. No one finds it funny, but that is such a jam-ass joke right there. You thought he was
right
gone?
Up there with butt humor.
You thought he'd peaked with butt. Oh no. He comes in with the 1-2 punch of a boo.
Gotcha.
And they're all like, oh, Michael. He goes, sorry, I just couldn't help myself. And they're like, cool, Ivanova. And they're like, no, not Ivanova. For reasons, good reasons, we're not going to do Ivanova right now.
Right. Meanwhile,
we got plenty of other people to check.
We go through all the command staff.
He could have come up with some other reason than just, hey, I just wanted to tell you you're doing a good job.
And now, I wonder if he, to, I guess, maintain cover for this whole exercise, I wonder if in the future he does this like quarterly, just asks people into his office to say, hey, just wanted to say you're doing a really good job. That's all.
What's really funny is some people that come in, he's like, I wanted to tell you, I've been looking at your recent work and congratulations, you're doing a great job. And some people are just like, hello, actually, you know what? You can go. Goodbye. He doesn't tell them they did a good job.
Right.
So he didn't lie to anybody, I guess.
Maybe it is a performance review.
My complaint here is that some of these people could have been here when Lyta was here, and she was here for 2 months.
Right.
So the
and
odds
they might
of
recognize
them,
her.
She's a redhead.
Yeah.
She's recognizable. So the odds of somebody in this group being like, hey, isn't that the telepath? Because she's literally in the back like, like, like laser beam eyeing everybody. While Dr. Franklin is standing behind her like, yes. Do I get to sedate somebody? You know, he's got the hypodermic needle in his hand and he's like, yes. And they all just walk in like, this is fine. Nothing is suspicious. She's not like behind a potted plant.
And all the other lights in his office are off.
It's
it's
sus.
dark in the back.
It is so sus. You could have put her behind a screen so she could see them, but they couldn't see her.
Yeah.
Literally anything other than she's like standing in front of the couch. And then it would have been no worse than if she'd been standing beside him, like behind the desk.
Yeah. You could have had her working at a computer.
I know.
I know. Explain
and
why she's there.
Why would you not start with Talia? She is the obvious choice. She's the one that Psychor has had the most access to.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you call Talia? Unless they were trying to avoid doing Talia at all, because she would know no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fine. But they bring it. It's like there's sort of montage music playing, and there's like a montage of just like people's faces.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder if they just brought the crew and they were like, put on this uniform coat. Okay, thanks. You can go. And just filmed them and used clips of them. And they're like, God damn it. They've all been clean. What are we supposed to do now? Just keep going? And Garibaldi's like, we've got 5,000 technical staff. The further you go from the center of power, it's less likely we're going to find the person we're looking for.
Yeah, 5,000 technical staff, not including Doctors Guild, medical support,
and environmental personnel. Yep. Yeah. And she looks over to Ivanova, and Ivanova goes, I suggest you move those eyes somewhere else while you still have them. And they're like, Ivanova. And she goes, I know what she's implying. And they're like, no one's implying anything. We're stating it out loud at this point. We're not implying. We're stating.
Yeah.
To avoid discovery, the implanted personality would do or say anything, manipulate anyone. And Ivanova's like, is that what you think I'm doing? Huh? Is that what you think I'm doing? And she's like, well, you're worried about something. Sheridan. Mind telling us what you're hiding? And she's like, damn it, I've had enough. And this is when Ivanova's like, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Well, Sheridan is like, hey, this is exactly what they want.
Yeah, they want us paranoid and afraid of each other and divide and conquer. It's the oldest rule in the book.
So she finally says, okay, fine. Before I lose my nerve.
Well, this is when Garibaldi goes, I guess it wouldn't be a good time for me to suggest we all sing Kumbaya. And he's like, Garibaldi!
Now's not the time.
Not fucking now! And this is, Ivanova's like, I'll do it. God damn it. Just so Garibaldi will stop telling bad jokes.
Which reminds me a lot of in Fellowship of the Ring when they're all in Rivendell and they all start arguing and Frodo stands up and says, I'll do it.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it to Mordor, though I do not know the way. That's what Ivanova says. She's like, I'll do it. Okay, fine. And so Talia walks up and gets it's trying to send the password to Ivanova, and she's like, hey, she's
blocking me?
She's blocking me. And that's when Sheridan walks over and he's like, okay, that's enough. That's enough.
He gives her a hug.
He hugs her and Ivanova's like, what? It shocks her so much. It distracts her enough that Talia can do it.
Yeah.
She's like, physical touch? No! Do not receive. Do not consent. But she's fine. So this was the dramatic moment of the whole, oh no, is it Ivanova? It's not Ivanova.
Was this whole thing a ruse?
Was it a ruse? Was it a cleverly concealed plot? No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. Like the setup and it was a swing and a miss for me, honestly. The whole setup for Ivanova.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it would have felt different if I didn't know. Like if I'm going through this the first time and I'd never seen this
knowing
episode
that
before.
Ivanova is clean.
Yeah, but I know Ivanova's in the whole rest of the series.
Right.
So once again, this is where this episode would have hit different.
Yeah.
If it was October of 1995 and you were sitting down to watch this and you had no future episodes to go off of.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's coming at all. And so the setup of Ivanova being the bad guy would have been like, oh, I don't know, maybe. And then when she's like, she'll say anything to manipulate you. You're like, well, I mean, that was a good story. Obviously it manipulated me. I felt for her.
Yeah.
And so,
she like solo manipulated Sheridan to support her not having to do the scan.
Yeah.
By telling a heart-wrenching story.
So
like, yeah, you could definitely be convinced that Ivanova's the sleeper.
Yeah.
And then Talia walks in.
Yeah, Talia's
Lyta gives her laser eyes, and Talia's like, "You bitch!"
This is what she says, Captain, there you are, I was looking for you. That's what she said to Ivanova earlier, too. She's like, Ivanova, there you are, I was looking for you. And then when she literally, everyone's standing around looking super awkward, and she just walks in like, oh my God, hi guys. I've been looking everywhere for the entire command staff. And then Lyta sends her the password. I do like the, you bitch! And then she turns around and grabs Garibaldi's gun, which she had a gun because she used the gun to shoot the other people, but she didn't have it with her.
Right.
So where's the gun and where'd she get the gun from?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just scary. We didn't even question it anymore because we're just so used to there being guns. You blew my cover. You're dead. You hear me? You're dead. As they're like dragging her out. She weighs like 90 pounds. She's like, I'm getting out of this. You hear me? And they're just like pick her up and do like carry her away. And they put her under house arrest, but then they just let her leave.
They probably legally
can't do anything.
Can't detain her.
I mean, how are they going to prove? She's a different person. She's not who we thought she was. Okay, well, people change. No, but not like this. Because she starts screaming, the Korra's mother, the Korra's father. You're dead, Lyta Alexander. So she knew right who she was.
Yeah.
Well, she said she knew her from her days in the Corps.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God. Garibaldi goes, how could she do this to us? And I wrote, she was raped and murdered, so maybe just chill. Like mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not physically necessarily, but like she had her own personality subsumed.
She was raped years ago.
Yeah.
She's been pregnant with this thing, and then she died in childbirth.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Yes. That's exactly. And That's actually Sheridan is like, I mean, it's not her fault. He does step up and be like, can we not victim blame right now?
Yeah.
She's been carrying this artificial personality without ever knowing it.
Even after Iron Dude, Ironheart, he didn't fix it.
Okay, so someone brought that up too. They were like, wait a minute, didn't God telepath God, Ironheart guy, Jeremy, didn't he like notice? And they were like, he goes, no, he was busy.
He was busy. He turned her into a telekinetic.
He was real busy trying to keep himself from ascending to godhood, okay, and harming everyone in the process. So he didn't notice. Also, he said that the sleeper was dormant at the time, so he wouldn't have noticed. And then he gives her the telekinetic thing, and people postulated that he had given it to her in such a way that when the sleeper agent takes over, it goes away.
Okay.
It's just the plot line to nowhere. We mentioned that when it popped up was like, it's a great setup, but it's a swing and a miss because she leaves and it all goes away. And he doesn't really have anybody he can feasibly give it to. So he gives away the parts of the storyline that he can, but like the telekinetic thing, who's he going to give that to? So it just goes away. It's fine. This is when they're trying to figure out all the shit they've told her. They like pull their diaries out to compare who's confided in Talia. Okay, well, she knows about the Underground Railroad. All right. Are they going to admit they were foxed? I love that one. Yeah, but what are they going to do about the Underground Railroad? Are they going to admit they were foxed? Well, they don't have to admit anything. They can just secretly send people to you.
Right, like they've been doing.
So it's fine. Whatever. It's like, what happens when they find out that Steven here was involved? And they're like, publicly? Probably nothing. Steven's like, honestly, if you're worried about my reputation, don't be. Don't be. It's fine. It's fine. And in fact, he has contacts, but he's not actively a part of it anymore because he got exposed.
Right.
So, I mean, they're basically
ostensibly, Bester already knows or suspects that Franklin was involved.
He knows somebody on the station was involved. It doesn't matter because it's already not going through there anymore. Yeah. And they're basically like, they can't do anything to us, or we can turn around and prove what they did to Talia. So he calls it an old-fashioned Mexican standoff.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, at least we didn't bring her into our cabal, our secret, super secret group. You know what they need? Membership pins. Maybe a special uniform. Oh, wait, we get that later. Beep. Okay, so anyway, they're like, oh my God, she knows a lot, actually, now that we've sat down and compared this, but it could have been worse. Another day, we would have invited her into our group, and then we would all be getting court-martialed right now. And he's like, is there anything else we can use to protect ourselves if necessary? And this is when Garibaldi is like, whoa, and he has this flashback of the Vicar episode where she was like, I think it's Deathwalker, where she was like, oh my God, I think Kosh did something to me. It was really weird. And then he sees the moment from Talia's perspective, even though he wasn't there, where Talia confronts Kosh and she's like, what did he take? And he's like, reflection, terror. And Garibaldi's like, actually there might be something. Let me investigate.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, fine. Where's Ivanova? And she goes, oh, she said she had some unfinished business to take care of. And this is when Talia and Ivanova have their last moment together. And you can tell that Talia is evil.
Because her hairstyle has changed.
She's got her evil hair and her evil makeup.
Oh my gosh.
She's got red lipstick on now. I bet her nails are red too. I'm surprised they didn't give her a dark red coat to wear.
I think an analog to Talia's appearance changing is the idea that behind every evil robot was an engineer that programmed their eyes to turn red when they turned evil.
You got me, because honestly, that was right up there with the crust of bread. It had never occurred to me that there's no reason for their eyes to turn red when they turn evil. Oh my God, yes. That's exactly the sentiment. Someone was like, okay, but can I make it so that when the other personality becomes big, she uses hairspray and red lipstick? And they're like, yeah, man, go off, whatever.
And on the robot side, it's like, If something fundamentally goes wrong with the way the robot is operating, I'm going to put up red error lights in the eyes.
Yeah.
It didn't detect that they went evil. It's just, there's a problem. The problem is they're evil.
Evil is the problem. And it kind of makes me wonder. So we know Bester was thirsting after Talia. Remember when he showed up and he was like, hey, so I think we would make some really pretty babies.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you wonder if Bester was involved in creating the new personality. Because then he could be like, and then can you make it so that the new personality...
That may be why he has an attachment to her, is if he was actually involved in the creation of the sleeper personality.
Right.
He feels like he knows her.
What if he was like, can we make it so that her new super secret super personality uses like hairspray to pull her hair back and it likes to wear low cut tops and red lipstick and shit? And they were
and really likes short kings.
Yeah, he's like really into short older men whose name is Muster. Rhymes with Fester. And they were like, what does this have to do with the mission? And he was like, it will make her more appealing and people won't be as mad at her about being a bitch. And they were like, oh, heard. Actually, yeah, that's cool. We can do that. Mm-hmm. But this Talia basically is just an asshole.
Yeah.
She's like, I said anything. I told her what to tell you so that you would love her. And it was all a setup. And you should see your face. You look like such an idiot right now. And Ivanova was like, you're right. Talia is dead. And then she leaves. That whole moment happened. And then Lyta goes to Kosh. And this is a lot funnier of a scene when you realize that she's married to the guy in the suit.
Yes.
And that they just had a baby together. Because she's like, I'm back, but I can't stay. The captain made sure I can get away before the Cyclops get here. But like, I have to see you again before my ship
Let me get
leaves.
a good look at you before I go.
Can you take your hat off? I never told them. I never told anyone. I hid it all away in the smallest, tiniest corner of my mind. And what she does is convince him to be like, she says, where I keep the memory of you and I listen to your voice, I listen to you sing me to sleep. I hope I can come back again, but I don't know. Until then, I want to see you just one more time before I go. And in my mind, the only reason he takes his hat off, his little helmet off, and comes out is because he needed to get the remote to turn the TV off. And he has to pause the TV and be like, what were you saying?
But then after we get like the glow on her face,
flap.
We hear wings flapping.
The flap and harp music. Did you catch the harp?
I did not catch the harp music.
Harp sting. It's a little on the nose, honestly. When we finally figure out who Kosh is, you're going to be like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Who
harp?
the Vorlons are.
Oh, yeah. Seriously? Harp music? You're gonna give him harp music? And then you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe I didn't guess it. Anyway, that was that episode. It occurred. It's fine. It was exit Andrea Thompson stage left.
I wonder if there was any confusion between Andrea and Andreas on set where you would say one of their names and they'd both turn around.
I don't know, but I know who I would choose. She's fine. I know she wanted a bigger part.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up leaving and then leaving again. So, the only consistent thing in all your failed relationships is you. I just think she thought this was going to be her big break. She was going to be the runaway star of Babylon 5, and it didn't shake out that way. And instead of sticking with it and being like, wow, I'm a part of something really cool, which maybe she wasn't making enough money doing what she was doing. And she just needed a larger role to justify continuing to be an actor.
I wonder if she was not allowed to like do commercials and stuff because that might have been perceived as an endorsement by Babylon 5. Like, was there other work she could have done?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't know if she had I don't know what her contract looked like. I don't know anything about that. I do know that during this time period, very few of them had royalties. So she was walking away and then she wasn't going to earn anything from it.
Yeah.
Because I know we talked to a couple of the actors for Forever Night and they were like, yeah, we didn't.
There's no royalties.
There's no royalties. You just got paid for being there and then you went home.
Yeah.
And you didn't get paid again for it because that wasn't like you weren't thinking in perpetuity for TV.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't thinking DVD sales. You weren't thinking whatever. You were just like one and done. So a lot of their contracts were one and done. I don't know because this is, let's see. We know why Sinclair left. We know why Michael O'Hara left.
Yeah.
We know why Natoth left. And I think Natoth is the one that I feel a little bit more generous to because she does come back when called.
Yeah.
But she's just not a regular anymore.
Right.
And Talia just leaves. Like Andrea Thompson doesn't give them the opportunity to
right.
even
That's
cameo
the one
herself.
that the Andrea Thompson one feels like it was ego.
Yeah.
Which totally reasonable. Like, I don't want to do this thing anymore. I'm not getting what I want out of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something different.
All right.
You're allowed to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think there's any way to know. It was 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not look up what else she's done. I knew she went on to be a reporter, and I knew she was only a reporter for like a hot minute, like less than a year. And I think it's because she thought she was going to be an intrepid reporter, and it didn't end up being what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just left. And I know the way she like introduced herself on air for the first time was like, unless you've been living under a rock, you know who I am, which I know Babylon 5 did fine, but I don't think it did that fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I need to look up more about what she went on to do, I guess. I think she just sort of disappeared, kind of like some of the actors for Forever Night are just gone. You can't find them. Mm-hmm. They retired after Forever Night, and they don't have a social media presence, and they're just gone. They're just gone. It could happen. It was a thing that could happen at the time is you could just slip through the cracks and just disappear.
Yeah.
And that's more or less what she did. So, I mean, unless somebody knows differently, which I'm sure someone will tell me if it's different, and I will happily listen to any argument to the contrary. I don't want to assign a value judgment to her because I don't know anything more than what I only know JMS's point of view, and I only know that this was a consistent thing in her career.
Mm-hmm.
Where she started a role, didn't end up being what she thought it was going to be, and she left. So those are the only two things I have to go off of. I know that I knew all of these things happened. I didn't remember that all of these things happened in the same episode. So it's notable that this was like this particular episode was just a wash in my mind. Mm-hmm. I only remembered like Talia was the bad guy. And Ivanova's telepathic. I didn't remember anything else. I didn't remember it was Lyta who sent the code. So obviously this had as much staying power as you think it had. And I'm excited because we're almost in season 3.
Yep.
Yeah, boy. We're like 3 or 4-ish episodes from the end of season 3, which means we will be more than...
We'll be almost halfway.
No. Halfway through season 3, we'll be halfway, right? Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be almost halfway.
Unreal. Because when we were at this point in Forever Night, we only had one more season to go.
Right.
And we've still got 3 more seasons to go.
Started, bitch.
And the comics and the movies. And maybe by then there'll be a reboot.
Ooh.
Yeah, but not like reboot, but like reboot. Reboot the show. Wasn't the show Reboot where they had the...
Yes.
Yeah, the computer. That was on something, Tubi maybe, and I put it on for the kids, and they were like, what is this? And I was like, computer animation. And they were like, it's so bad. I was like, it was fine at the time. It's perfectly adequate. It's perfectly adequate, you guys.
Yeah, it looks better on a CRT.
Everything looks better on a CRT TV. All right, so I think this is probably a good place to leave it. There's not a whole lot more to talk about with this episode, so we'll just douche. Be done. So we would live for the one. We live for the one.
We would die for the one.
Until next time, friends. Bye.
Motorbutt.